Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, something a little bit special. Welcome back to a Duckling Viewer Replay cast, your sporadic dose of replay action. Let's go. I'm, of course, host VIP with you, and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. As this morning we are catching up with some viewer-submitted replays. For those that are curious, there is a way to redeem replays in the chat with your points, with your channel points, I should say. So with your channel points, I believe it's 10,000. I think it's 10,000 points to have a replay redeemed. And throughout the course of the past almost 2 months now, we've been accumulating replays, and we got a lot to get through, Pappy. Let's go, Pappy, let's go. I remember we tried to host a viewer replay stream last week, but unfortunately the schedule didn't quite line up. More events were announced, and we had to just go through all the events as best as we could. But this week we actually have a free morning. This week we have a free morning to go over these replays and to catch up on what has been, or what the viewers have been up to. Let's go, Pappy, let's go. So for now, I do have seven matches lined up for us here. Depending on how long we go, we might be able to add a couple more towards the end. We'll see how long some of these matches are going to be, as most of these are going to be ladder games. We have a couple of team games in here as well. We have like a 3v3 mixed in. It's the 3v3. For now though, we do have our initial ladder 1v1 game between Ragnar and Krulos. Going to be a ZVZ on a pylon. Let's go. Let us jump on in. Let's jump into our CVC. But again, hope you've all been doing well for yourselves. Just wrapped up with the Sparkling Tunic Cup last night. This evening we don't have a cast, so we're going to have the evening off, thankfully. It's been a while since that's happened, and I do have to catch up on VODs. I have to catch up on editing VODs and scheduling VODs as well for YouTube for sure. But here we go. We're jumping into our first game this morning. In the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. We have the ladder hero himself. It is Krulos. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the Australian Zerg. It is Ragnar. Here we go. Also, shout out was in the chat. I see Jimmy, Jimmy sees icons as well. 089508 and many others. Bienvenidos here as we are getting into our first of many viewer replay games. First, we have our initial hatch first out of Ragnar. Krulos going for a bit of a delayed hatchery instead. Interesting. So we're going to be settling into our initial games. When it comes to ZVZs, we'll keep an eye on early gas timings. We'll keep an eye on tech timings as well. When it comes to the Bailey Nest, the Evo Chamber, the third base, the Roach Warren, whether we pull out, whether we stay in gas, we'll keep an eye on our players, as we do have interesting both players going for a hatch into a pool into delayed gases. Interesting. Gas now on the way for Krulos. Ragnar, he may opt to go gasless here based on what we're seeing. So it looks like a gasless opener out of Ragnar. Oh, there we go. Gas is just now being taken. Now, because the gas geyser is so late, this typically means that we might just skip link speed, wall up on 2 bases, and go 2 base Roach. That would make the most sense. That's typically what's seen off of pool first openers or delayed gas openers. From the side of Krulos, again, his gas was a little bit earlier here, so we could still maybe try to get away with link speed. Otherwise, it would not surprise me if our 2 players did decide to delay and go into 2 base Roach play instead. At the same time, of course, the level play is a little bit lower here between our 2 players, so we might just be kind of stumbling into the early game, maybe not going for the most efficient openers, but kind of heading into a standard direction anyway. We don't want to read too much into it. For now, we are going to be joining. Going to be saturating. Krulos does start a couple of Zerglings here, as he is going to be unfortunately skipping or missing some macro cycles, as we do have some droning too, of course. Queens are about to pop out. And with our first 2 links, we can scout across the map. Link speed is on the way. You can see that Krulos does stay in gas, so he stays in gas. With this, he could get into a more tech-heavy follow-up. Meanwhile, Ragnar across the map, he is banking gas, so no link speed. We assumed that Ragnar was going to be going into 2 base Roach, and so far it looks to be the case. Otherwise, link speed would have been on the way by now. That's a lot of links. Yeah, that's 8 Lings here for Ragnar. That's actually quite a big investment from our Blue Zerg player. Here comes the second gas. So again, our assumption was 2 base Roach. We're leaning heavily more towards that. Otherwise, it could just be 2 base Lair into 2 base Muta. That'll be the other kind of big option here for Ragnar. And Krulos is also playing 2 base Roach as well. So the later gas guys are now making sense. Now making sense between both players. Ooh, this is greedy as Ragnar, despite his opener, despite not having link speed, is going for a third. I would say that typically this is illegal. And because Krulos has link speed himself, finishing up in a couple of moments, and because he should be checking with the Overlord, if he knew what was happening, if he saw the third base, he could make a wave of Lings, move out across the map, and force a cancel. He could very easily force a cancel here. So again, this is a little greed out of Ragnar. He is getting away with it, but partially because Krulos' Overlord is not quite in position to confirm the timing of the third base. Now it's back at him, Krulos, he's just walling up. Spine Cooler is done, walling up with his Evo Chambers. Lairs are on the way. We don't have an Evo Chamber here for Ragnar, interesting. So going into 2 base Muta is still going to be on the table if we take our gases. Things do fan out, and it's going to be droning, going to be saturating. Roach speed has begun. Again, no Evo Chamber, so no upgrades, so this feels a little more committed for Ragnar, as we're just not really set up for a longer game. We're now going for double Evo Chamber, but these are late. You can see that Ragnar, he's banking gas. He's banking a lot of gas. Could have gotten away with upgrades earlier, but alas, is fully behind upgrade-wise compared to Krulos. He's a bit on top of it. I'll say at this point Krulos can take his gases, and should take his gases. Nice positioning with the queens, nice defense. Krulos hold. But yeah, Krulos, he's banking a lot of larva here. There we go. He was I mean, we saw this before, but he has been unfortunately missing some production cycles here, and as a result, late gases, late droning, it's something that he did kind of miss out on. Even here still has a lot of larva that could also be droning. We could just drone up as we're still missing drones. Ragnar getting into his own 1-1 upgrades. Krulos, he could try to hit a timing here with 1-1, but he's playing overly defensive here. We have another spine crawler on the way, when at this point Krulos should be making nothing but roaches and expanding, of course, behind this and getting a third base. You can see that Krulos, he has a lot of minerals banked up as well. The reason why the mineral and gas bank is so kind of wonky here and for Krulos is just because of his late gases, right? His gas income was delayed. That was on Krulos when it comes to not droning, when it comes to taking his gases, but right now he should be focusing purely on roach production to hit that 1-1 timing. Honestly, it looks like that timing might just come and go. Krulos is supply blocked as well. He just lost an overlord across the map to the Ravager Biles. And the longer this goes on, the more that Ragnar is going to catch up in upgrades and overtake in economy. As Ragnar, his third base is getting fully saturated. Ragnar has been droning. Krulos, his third base is late. He's getting more spine coolers. And again, this is money being invested into not drones and not roaches. So from here, Ragnar should just be able to outscale. Even though his upgrades were delayed and upgrades were late, it doesn't matter. It's going to be able to catch up. I'm not too fond of the idea of going into +1 melee. I just realized he's going for double attack upgrades, which is less than ideal. Carapace would be a lot more beneficial, especially when we're getting into roach versus roach. So players are building up. As I mentioned before, again, Krulos, he has 1-1. He never started 2-2, and that lead, the upgrade lead that he had, it's slipping away. Slipping away. Oh, taking up into Hydras, throwing down macro hatcheries. Good. He's lacking droning. So a little bit unfortunate here from Krulos. Again, he had a pretty, he had a cleaner start, I would say. Krulos, he had a much cleaner start initially. It kind of fell apart a little bit from there. Wasn't able to deny the third base. Did take later gases, which meant later roach production. Both players have been very passive this game as well. Whereas Ragnar can just move out. Yeah, and he will. I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he's not just positioning to claim his base and tech up. Okay. And a Hydrogen all the way, Infestation bit. Are both players just gonna back off and just tech up into lurkers? Oh no. Ah no. No rush 20 minutes. Let's go. This is also one of the classic mistakes that you can have whenever you're getting into StarCraft, is because you're not scouting and because you're not actively trying to check what your opponent's up to, you're blindly responding and blindly throwing down spine crawlers, and you're being a little bit inefficient with how you're spending your money. And this is purely just because Krulos didn't know, right? He didn't know, is my opponent droning? Is he saturating? Is he actually attacking me right now? Like right now, Krulos is working with a lot of incomplete information. Because of that, he's responding in such a way, which is kind of putting him behind. Now taking over the Hydras. So now moving out with Tom and Claw Roaches. There is detection with the main army. Gee, more spine caught. Jesus. Oh god. This move here is killing Krulos because he just doesn't have saturation. He's just throwing away all these drones. Ay ay ay. Regardless, Ragnar is making his way in. I mean, there's not really much to kill here. So let's get a couple of transferring workers. And we'll bleed out some roaches here. A lot of roaches are going down. Oh, and he commits to the fight, so he will lose everything. So better engagement here for Krulos. But he did lose a lot of drones. He did make all his spine crawlers. He's still lacking gassing, or he's still lacking income in general here. And Ragnar, he can afford those losses. He can afford a couple of bad fights. Afford it. And we are just not attacking until we max out. Oh boy. If Ragnar had pushed at any moment in the past like 4 minutes, he would have just killed, would have just broken through. This is also on Ragnar as well. He wasn't really checking to see saturation, doesn't know just how little economy Krulos has been working with. If Ragnar was aware, then he would feel a little bit more confident when it comes to pushing out, being more aggressive, being more active, and engaging. So that information battle goes both ways here. Let's go both ways. The 8th Lunker's morphing in. Made it to Lurker Tech. Krulos, he's kind of working his way there as well. Just quite a bit behind. And Ragnar is max. And now these max, now we should be attacking. Hoping we do. Hoping we do. Por favor. Por favor. Oh, I just realized delayed 2-2. We have 2 upgrades on the way. We're getting there. And here comes Ragnar. Again, he has a superior army. He's got Lurker Tech. Krulos does have detection. He has a couple of Ravagers, but he has no Lurkers himself. Ooh, we have some Infestations on the way, and 17 more Hydras. That's less than ideal. Hydras are more of a supportive unit. You don't want to rely upon Hydras, and yeah, with that, the base is going to go down, and Ragnar can keep pushing. But he could. Slice the base, rotates around. Pushing into the third is going to be a little bit more difficult due to all these spine crawlers. But all Ragnar has to do is force a fight within range of those lurkers. Lions are going down. Bungle does graze the army. Oh, the Hydras, they try to push down the ramp, but there are so many lurker shots. And Hydras, they are punished. So right now, he does pull away. He does replenish his army. Unfortunately, he remaxed, so he has no room to make more lurkers. So he has to trade off a little bit here to afford and to be able to build up his lurker count again. Because Ragnar took so long to attack, it meant that Krulus is actually catching up supply. He is catching up. So that supply lead isn't quite there, but the bank is. He has a massive bank. Building up his lurkers. And Krulus, I don't think ever got an infestation. Sorry, he never got a lurker den. Go to pits, go to hive, no lurker den here. Likewise, we have no vipers either. You can try to get away with this kind of composition with viper tech as well, but the technical composition isn't quite there for Krulus, whether it's vipers or lurkers. So he should never be able to push into lurkers. He could try to outposition, rotate, hit top right, hit left, and try to attack wherever the lurkers are not. Ragnar's still being very passive. Especially with all these lurkers, you can totally bully the army of Krulus. You can bully him. You can just move in, force him back. Again, try to force engagements within lurkers as well. Within range of lurkers. So Ragnar, he's playing more scared than he should be. Like he's deterred, he's playing more defensive. He can be more active, back. Get in the face. Jesus, that's a lot of banelings. I mean, against a high Hydra count without any lurkers, banelings, they can work quite well here, unironically. They can actually trade well. There's Ragnar, he can push in. Lack of bailing speed is going to be an issue. Spiles are connecting. Decent fungal. Oh, but Krulus still fighting within range of the lurkers. Ay, ay, ay. And some of the baitings do connect towards the end. As Ragnar's moving in. Oh. Once again, forcing his way forward. Files, they do connect, but the lurkers don't quite go down. And again, as you mentioned, like, you can, Krulus, he can never fight within range of lurkers. He's just bleeding out too much supply. Bleeding out too much. When it comes to how to counteract lurkers, without lurkers, I mean, you would need lurkers of your own to try to kind of like hold the line, but also vipers. Like you would need your own vipers, and then your opponent makes vipers, and then you get into viper versus viper. That's typically the go-to, where you have like say 12 vipers, groups of 6, and you're like power bombing each other and trying to deal with your own vipers. Here we can see both players going into ultras. This makes less sense. Ultras, they can be tanky, sure, with their upgrades, but it feels like the goal here for Krulus is still to just rush in and rush past, even though he has no melee upgrades either. That's Ragnar. He does move out with some roaches. Again, he could just move in with the main army and overwhelm. But he's throwing away a bunch of roaches. We have our first Viper. Let's go. It's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. But yeah, from the side of Ragnar, there was no need to go into ultras. Like, you can just keep going for like Roach, Lurker, Viper. Just keep building up this army and just break through. Ultras is a big investment into a bit of an, I would say, inefficient supply unit here. But I mean, he's far enough ahead where it's fine. Like, right now he can remax with almost anything, and it'll work anyway. He can remax with Swarm Hosts and just pop off with Swarm Hosts and Locust Waves. Whatever he wants. Smooch, Mappy, smooch. As Ragnar does move out, does push him between the bases. From here, he can just force his way straight to the natural. Lurkers are a little bit far behind. And ideally, you do want to pull back to actually make use of Lurkers. Lurkers are not really coming into play. There we go. Yeah, and so Jesus, and the Lurkers, they annihilate the Hydras. Again, it isn't about the Ultras, it's about the Lunkers, Pappy. As Lurkers move in. We have a couple of Ultras peeling off into the natural. And GG gets called. Ragnar, he does take the game. He does take down Krulos. GG. Again, when it comes to the game itself, it does feel like Krulos, again, had a cleaner early game. It was quite greedy of Ragnar to go for the third base while going gasless early on, so that's something that should be punished, which Krulos was not aware of. Likewise, the Evo chambers were a little bit delayed there, but as is often the case when it comes to a lot of these kind of games here, that we need some confidence back. We need some confidence. Jesus. I would say there was a good, like, what, almost 10 minutes where Ragnar, he was up in supply, he was up in army, he was up in tech, he was up in composition, and we could just be more active, we could be more assertive there. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where I'm sure there have been some scarring moments in games where you attack, you overextend, you lose your lead, and then you die, and you're like, never again. I'm just stay and defend. And because that opportunity is missed you by, and you actually give your opponent the opportunity to actually recover and take a lead, right? We spoke about it, but despite the fact that Ragnar was up 40 supply for most of that game, eventually, because of his passivity, we saw that Krulos maxed out. Krulos, he unfortunately didn't have any lurker tech or any further tech to actually make use of, but he did eventually max out and catch up supply-wise, and even was ahead upgrade-wise as well. Regardless, GG, well played. Well played. As that leads us into our next viewer submitted replay from the walk. Let's go. This is going to be a 3v3. 3v3s are often really chaotic and full of a lot of nonsense, and that's what I expect out of this. So we're going to be getting into our 3v3 matchup here, featuring the walk alongside some Pig players. Pigpen, of course, is Pig's in-game amateur team. Well, let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Veracity, we do have our trio. We do have Mortifier, Walk, and Arky. Here we go, one of each race. Meanwhile, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the ladder heroes themselves. We have Shadow Dragon, the Terran. We have Unit 1, the Protoss, and Trapstar, the Terran as well. The intros might be a little bit broken. It's fine, it's fine. But here we go. As we load into Veracity. Now, I'll be honest, I have no idea what this map is. I'm a little bit shocked. Now, the reason for this, I have played some team games in the past. I've dabbled in them in years gone by. But recently, when I say recently, I want to say last year? I think last year, the team game map pool was updated. And a lot of maps, a lot of new 3v3, 4v4, and 2v2 maps were introduced, and some were taken away. It was a big moment. And I'll be honest, I have not played team games, or at least 3v3 and 4v4 since then, so I'm very unfamiliar with the new maps in the map pool. What do we have here? Okay, we have a full wall in between the bases coming into the center player. We have to mine through these patches or break down these rocks. We do have in-base natural bases for the other two. Jesus, this is a lot of pings going on. So it looks like the center player is a little bit in a harder position to try to expand, so you have to slowly mine through those minerals, take these two bases. There are two bases here in the center. Third bases are more exposed between our players as well. It looks like there's a lot of elevation, there's a lot of high ground to take advantage of. Based on the terrain, it looks like we can try to force out longer games. There's a lot of Zonaga towers in the center. We have some fringe bases here. We have an island base. Okay, I see you. We have island bases in the corners of the map. Looks like no gold. It looks like no gold bases, but yeah, a lot of points of elevation. It looks like quite a large map and a longer rush distance by ground. It feels like you could get a lot of late game on Veracity. Feels like. Getting your third and getting your fourth base is looking brutal. I will say that the fourth base is going to be difficult to take, but the size of the map is quite large. Meanwhile, we have our openers. We have our Twilight Council opener out of Mortifier. Going Twilight Council, we do have, it looks like a double gas, Arky going into a delayed CC. Going into a faster factory off of 1 gas. Interesting. We have the Wok playing Zerg. Oh, I just realized. So, Wok, he's off racing. He's a main race Terran player, and his off race Protoss is, I want to say, as high as his Terran. So he does have some Terran and Protoss skill. When it comes to Zerg, I'm less familiar. I am less familiar. It's going for a DT opener. Those are curious. I think Wok's Terran is around like 5k. Like it's around, well, maybe like 4.9. I know that Wok is ineligible for MSO. I know that much. I know he's well past 4.7. Well past it. So he graduated out of Master Swan Open. Yes, we do have our Dark Templar here out of Mortifier. Meanwhile, from the other side of things, we have a delayed CC out of Shadow Dragon. Oh, wait, no, sorry, my apologies. Rushing to a third CC. Jesus, I thought that was a natural. So, Hypergreed out of Shadow Dragon, rushing to a third CC after the factory before the next production building. So, very greedy here from Shadow Dragon. On the other side, we do have a 2-1-1 setup here from our blue Terran from Trapstar. Yeah, going for Sim. So 2-1-1 out of Trapstar. And from the side of our Protoss player here, it was a Robo Opener. Yeah, Robo Opener out of Unit 1. Interesting. Robo Opener into a delayed Twilight Council. This is a bit of a safer start. This does allow for early observers, early immortals. It does mean that blink, charge, any tech here, any upgrade is going to be delayed from that Twilight Council. So delayed tech. But because of the Robo Opener, that means fast detection. Did they scout? They did not scout the Dark Shrine, but Fast Observer here out of Unit 1 will be ideal against the DTs that are coming his way. So here comes that DT opener out of Mortifier. The Observer is out, and the army should be fine. Oh! Yeah, the army does defend. A very nice setup here by Unit 1. Does force a recall. And will shut this down. So clean defense out of Unit 1. Very fortunate that he did go for a Robo Opener. Likewise, very fortunate that Mortifier happened to attack not the Terran, but the Protoss. As more DTs are warping in. Looks like we have a couple of Cyclones and supports. We'll see what they can get done. As all, he wants the Observer. Oh no! The Observer, you can see the ping. He wants it. No, gets out of range of the scan. Second scan, can he get it? He cannot. He cannot. The Observer does survive. So cheeky moves out of our Mortifier and Arky duo. They tried to make it work. They tried to have some teamwork. Meanwhile, we do see Wok is going into 1-1 Roaches. Okay, so he's going into a Roach heavy style. Mech out of Arky. So he's going to make it up. He's double expanding on location. Sorry, triple expanding. Very greedy here from Arky. He's triple expanding, and this will punish the passivity of their opponents, assuming that Trapstar and the blue team doesn't move out. Blue team is being somewhat active. There we go. All three of them are pushing. There's no War Prism for the Protoss, so Unit 1 cannot reinforce. Even though he had the Robo Opener, so no Prism. Delayed Blink. In general, these Stalkers are going to be less effective. Nice snipe on one of the Archons. Gets one. Roaches are filing in. Blue team trading well. Gets a second Archon. Pushing into the bases. Observer does siege, so DTs cannot deal with this. When these bases are going to go down at the same time, we do have some Hellion run-bys. Hellions are getting to the middle line. SCVs will fall as they are stacking. From here, where are we pushing? Do we keep pushing further into the bases? Oh, that's a very, very narrow choke point. Shadow Dragon, he's on A move. He's not here to protect the tanks. Oh no! Tanks, they barely hold their own. One tank goes down. Hellions, they try to deal with this. Overall, though, the blue team, they do maintain this position. 2 bases falling. Now, what is scary here is that the Walk has been left alone. Walk, his bases here are left untouched. He has a booming economy. This is hurting mainly Mortify. Mortify down to 1 base. Down to a 1 base setup. And these Marines are on their own. And the Marines going to be cleaned up. Shadow Dragon does overextend. You can see the rest of the army rotating towards the left-hand side. So we're not really working together here. The army is a little bit split, a little bit disjointed, and is going to be cleaned up. Yeah, the blue team is going to be cleaned up. And again, sure, Mortify is crippled. Like, Mortify is crippled. He can't really add much here. He's trying to double expand to recover. But look at all these bases. Look at all these bases for Arky. Look at all these bases for Walk as well. So Arky and Walk, they can build up. They can max out. Meanwhile, across the map, our blue team here is expanding slowly but surely. They just lost their main armies. And here come the roaches. Here comes 1-run roaches here from Walk. And I'll be honest, Walk, he might be able to 1v3. There is some Hellion support, which will help, for sure. Hellions, they can help. Ooh, there's a tank line, which has to be respected. More Hellions rallying in. Oh, Jesus, where are we going? The Hellion, the Hellions. Yeah, Hellions are being thrown away. Walk, he moves into 5 siege tanks, and he will throw away his army. Yeah, that should not have happened. So the Walk, he will plummet in supply. Again, all he had to do was just see the tank line, back off, and rotate into the main. This space would have been so exposed and so vulnerable. But the Walk did misjudge. Misjudge. Now suddenly blue team, they're still in this. They're still in this here. I'm still concerned by the economy of both Arky and Walk, which is still untouched. I'm also, I mean, the plus side here is that Arky is going to mass Hellion. Like, back at home, he's still just making mass Hellion. Like, I don't... Where's the army, Pappy? Where's the army? He's going mono battle Hellions. What is going on? Oh, the mineral income. Again, Mass Hellion would make more sense against like a Zerg opponent, but against Protoss and Terran, like I didn't see these Hellions doing much, I'll be honest. They can't really add much to a fight, unfortunately. Tanks are sieged. This is what we spoke about at the start of the game, how it did look like on this map you could force longer games because of this, because of all the choke points and all the points of elevation. So here we have a choke point here coming to these bases, another ramp here, another ramp here, we have more ramps here as well. Like, as long as you have a tank set up at every one of these ramps and an army in position, I don't see any player, one way or the other, kind of pushing up these locations. So again, you can like force the game to be slowed down and max out. Like, it feels like this would be a common occurrence on this map. Ooh, no one's here though. Yeah, no one's in the middle. They just go straight down mid. Blue team out of position. That was on the Protoss. That was on the Protoss. Fungals do connect. Nice Fungals. Those connect piles. Ooh, they shut down some of the bio. Hellions, they bust into the mineral line. Yeah, we have Hellbats here towards the southern side. Hellions towards the center. There's a lot of workers going down. Likewise, we're catching up some free tanks. Yo, we got some storm support as well. We got the storms. Jesus. And we might just force a counterattack. Especially Shadow Dragon, he's got the most supply to work with. I say that he's running into tanks. Yeah, the blue team, they're running into tanks, running out of concave as well, and they will lose almost everything. That's 2-3 Colossus going down. The tank count is still quite healthy here for Shadow Dragon, where the Protoss army is almost non-existent. He's got 1 Colossus and 1 Zealot. Let's go. Send it, Pappy. Send it. Miss Rally. Miss Rally. Oh, God. As Mortifier, he does Miss Rally his army. He runs into a siege line. There's like 4 or 5 High Templar going down. And again, blue team, they just lost, what, 2.5 mineral lines. Meanwhile, red team still happily mining. Still happily mining. More fungals are connecting. Lings aiming from behind. Mortifier as well. And Shadow Dragon, his tank count is cleaned up. That was the one chance that the blue team had, was Shadow Dragon and his tank count. He does have planetesis. He's swelling up with planetaries. Of course he is. Premier catching up some High Templar. We're still going mono battle Hellion. What's happening? I mean, that does kill some Marines, I suppose. These liberators shouldn't get much done. As Marines, they sim on forward, they sim past liberation zones. Oh, look, don't be afraid. It's just a planetary. It's on its own. You keep going back. You're maxed out. Ooh, he cannot fight both armies on his own. Has to be careful. Piles more of those Colossus. More Colossus going down. Hellions, they find a mineral line. They find a weak point here. Tanks even dealing friendly fire towards the end. And looks like the look is taking up into, I mean, just taking up into everything. I mean, why not? Ultra Cavern's on the way, Greater Spire as well. We have a zoning nuke. As Arky does at least lose an expansion, does lose 1 base. 1 base goes down. There's still no good answer here for all these tanks. The Wilds are okay. I guess we're just waiting for the Greater Spire. The anti-air is very limited here for the blue team. They're limited by Marines and Ghosts. That's all the anti-air they have. Here they come. 16 Corruptors on the way. We're getting ready for the massive Broodlord switch. Now, Trapstar does have some Thors, but they might go down here. Oh, does Siege first. Versus Siege, with a still a line of tanks behind this. Thors did tank. Did tank for a moment. Dragon moving in. Oh, we can see all 3 armies responding. Jeez. Ah, no, the tanks are exposed. The tank's going to be going down. We have well catching reinforcements. And our last army is going to be cleaned up. Yo, we got some nukes though. Let's go. Will it land? Send it, papi. And he doesn't notice. Yeah, he does not notice. The nuke will land. Doesn't pull away in time. Gets a full mineral line. Not bad. The problem though is the main army. That's the biggest problem here. Here they come. Here come the Brood Lords. As we mentioned before, right now there is no answer. We have some Thors on the way from Trapstar. But the Brood Lords are coming. And Shadow Strike is still making tanks. Still just making tanks. As long as it's being kept busy here towards the south. Brood Lords, they should just keep pushing. Like, there's no reason to stop. There's only Marine. Or at least the Marine. We'll see if anyone ever is able to deal with this. I mean, now all the Terran players are fixated on Thor production, which will help, for sure. We have non-stop Thor production out of the Terrans. But bases are still slowly going down. We have the encouraging Brood Lord army. And the blue team, they're on a timer. At this point, they're on a timer. As they are gaining ground against the Arky and Mortifier. They're gaining ground. I just realized Arky's broke. Yeah, Arky, he has no economy here. So the Red Terran can't really do much. They're also seeing some really rough fights into the mech army. Again, it's all just about buying time. Oh no! Miss rally. A bit of miscontrol. Are moving in. At this point, Walk should be giving resources to Arky. Like Arky, he is very, very broke. And it would benefit Walk to just give resources so his team can have an army to work with. Likewise, the Red Duo, we need to be so careful with how we engage. The Immortals actually trade decently well. The Immortals get a lot of tanks. From here we back up. Nervous are ready. Nervous are ready as Trapstar is pushing to the bases of Arky. Arky, he never got any money. Walk has 2k in the bank. Ay, ay, ay. Well, he's drowning. Meanwhile, you can see both Mortifier and Arky, they're like dying of dehydration. They're like, give us some water. Walk's like, nah. What if I get thirsty one day? SMH. I need it all, papi. I need it all. If they lose this game, it would be on Walk not giving resources, just because it's gonna take quite. I mean, he won't be able to remax if he does lose the army. DTs do get in. There's the Observer. Arky is about to be eliminated as he's floating his buildings to the corner of the map. Likewise, modifier also has no economy either. SMH, man, the SMH. So how many Thors are there? We have 6. Okay, only 6 Thors. We have 2 Vikings, 4 Liberators. The blue team just does not have enough anti-air. They're trying to rebuild. They're trying to build up some starports to get more Vikings up and running. But for the most part, Walkie should be able to go by like uncontested here. Yo, there could have been like a Skytos army alongside this. Like, they could... Aye. Expansion-wise on this map, it does feel like the center player gets screwed there, just because like they get their 3-base setup, but where do they get a 4th? How do they get a 4th base? A Unit 1 attempted. From here, are we gonna really hunt down all the buildings? Oh god. And again, this would just be so much easier if Walk was giving resources to either one of his teammates and not both of them. So then the money would actually be useful. Be actually useful. Not like this. Oh, let's go. Got some DTs moving in. No detection. Our Templar, they're doing their part. Every Thor counts. Down to how many? Down to 3 Thors. 3 Thors left. Storm gets the DT. As there's still mining going on, Trapstar, he still has bottom right. There's still some saturation. And because Walk's army is so slow and so immobile, try to keep up with this kind of army, and it's actually going to be quite a chore. No. It looks like Walk just gave money to Arky, but it's too late. Like, Arky already lost everything, so now he's just stuck with resources. As we'll hunt down those units eventually. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, what do we have left? We have 1 Viking for Shadow Dragon. We have we had 1 Viking. We have 3 Liberators left for Trapstar. The Protosphere Unit 1 doesn't have any units, so there's 3 units remaining for blue team. 3 units left. Oh no! Speaking of 3, down to 1. Oh, sorry, down to 2. 2 Vikings remaining. Reloads are moving in. Yeah, just give Mortifier some money. Give him some resources to repower things. Warp in some units to help end the game. As we find the most crucial mining base here for Trapstar. Okay, the production of the base is going to go down. Oh, this is Trapstar. Okay. Shadow Dragon is out of CCs. Well, he even knows just how much money he has. Why didn't he give it to his free? Well, you're a clown, Bobby. You're a clown. God, no. We'll get there. Jesus. We'll get there. Oh, let's go the transfuse. Keep the spines alive, Patton. Transfuse. Up. That's fine. Look, he's holding his own against the Archons. Ah, no. Oh, let's go. Looks like he did give some money to Mortifier. How gracious. Gave him like 500 minerals. Crazy. Just mining his own. As Mortifier takes on the final standing army. Let's go. GG, GG. Walking his 3v3 team. They take it, Pappy. They take it. Aye, aye, aye. It could have been a shorter game if we had just given out some resources. Just saying. But regardless, GG. GG, well played. Again, I'm just not very familiar with some of these newer 3v3 maps. One day we might play. What do we have here? Teams 3v3. Veracity. Rosebud? I've never seen a game on Rosebud before. Lost July? There's an island on Lost July? So many new maps. Arcadia? I know none of this, Pappy. None of this. And we're about to get a refresh map pool as well. True. Okay, GG. GG, well played. Did you claim it? I feel like 3v3s are probably a little bit more fun. Like, I feel like 2v2 can get really sweaty. I feel like it can get really try hard, but I imagine like in 3v3s and 4v4s there's like a little more freedom. Like there's a little more wiggle room to do some crazy things. Regardless, that does wrap up our 3v3 ladder game, and we do have some more ahead of us here. Hyper One did redeem quite a number of replays. Some of them are actually SCL replays, so we can get into some of those towards the end of the broadcast. From the StarCraft Evolution League round of 28. As a reminder, we didn't get to cast round of 28. We only casted round 16 onwards, so there's a lot of games there that we didn't really get to experience. So it looks like we might have a bit like a highlight reel of some key matches. But until then, we have a ladder game, a TVP on Maganatha. Let's go. Between Hyper One and Megox. This morning, in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Peruvian Protoss representing Clem. Go Peru. It is Megox. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the American Terran. It is Hyper 1. Here we go. We're back to 1v1s. Thank God. Get me out of the nonsense, Pappy. Get me out of there. But yeah, not an SC Evolution game. Let's go. Typically, Hyper 1 almost exclusively redeems SC Evo games, but here we have a 1v1 ladder game instead. SC2. And I feel like typically Hyper 1 is a little bit more cheesy, a little bit more aggressive. From here, double gas opener out of our Terran player. To be fair, I haven't really seen too many of his games, so I can't say with certainty as to his playstyle. So Probe is moving out. Here we have the Probe Scouts. Just keep an eye on what's going on. With this, Mikoxi will confirm the double gas is where the faster factory. Oh, are we proxying the factory? The max is done. And we are indeed proxying the factory. Okay, yes, they're Hyper 1. Mikoxi hasn't stuck around long enough to recognize that something is wrong, that the factory is missing. And we're going for... Are we going for a proxy 1-1? Factory into starport into... What? Drop? Deliberator? Show us what you got. Show us what you got, Pappy. Aye. But this could be proxy factory into Hellions, into starport, into medevac, into Hellion drop into the main. Like, that is something that does happen at pro play. Like, that is a build. So we'll see if Hyper 1 does embrace that, or if we just go for some nonsense. I mean, it feels like it's too close for nonsense. Like a proxy tank or something. Oh, going for the armory. Okay. Armory's on the way. Are we going proxy Widowmine with drilling claws? It takes a... okay. I was going to say, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to go into drilling claws like this, but that's the plan. Armory's on the way. Tech lab, it feels... actually, technically, this could be Thor drop, right? It's like the armory is a prerequisite for Thors. So this could be a Thor drop, but for now I'm going to lean towards drilling claws. Show us that drilling claws. Just because there's a higher chance that just ends the game. As Mikox is still in the dark. Oh, it's scouting! Does rotate, and he will check. He will confirm the proxy 1-1. Let's go. And it is a Thor drop. So it is going to be a Thor drop. Did not research, so the Thor drop is coming. He's trying to play like Quanta. He's trying. We have +1 attack on the way. Now, at least Mikox is aware what's going on behind this. So upon seeing this setup here, specifically with the tech lab, two things should be on his mind. He sees us not researching either proxy tank or proxy Thor, right? Those are the only two options here. And we should respond with a robo, but no robo. He already went Twilight Council. When Twilight Council going to charge. Okay. Going into Zealots. Which means he has no anti-air to deny the drop, the medevac. Thor has arrived, takes down the sentry, which means no anti-air, nothing shoots up. There's one stalker in the main base, and this is just a really unfortunate setup here for Mikox. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Going for the Thor. Thor takes down the pylon, depowers one of the gateways. From here, going for the economy. Thor is getting quite low, but we have a backup Thor on the way. And yeah, you can just back up from repair. Just top up that Thor. Zealots, I want to say they can trade okay against Thors. It can be okay. In large enough numbers. I'm not entirely convinced. As Hyper 1 should be going back in. +1 is finishing up. And here come the double Thor drop. Going for the main. With good enough control. He does pick up a little bit soon. Yeah, pulls back. He pulls back to the cliff face. Zealots, they do nothing. They cannot touch this army. They cannot touch it. The cliff face is brutal. Zealots, they melee base units, and we can just get some free damage. We can get what, 2 gateways and a cyber core. We might be within range of the Twilight Council. That might be within range. Oh, as we do need high ground vision. There we go. SCV pulls into repair. Oh, we're within range of the Twilight Council and of the gateway as well. Sniping both. Again, just free damage here, and this is the downside of going charge as a response to this. As Zealots cannot touch this army. They can't touch the Thors. Back at home, going for a bio follow-up. Thankfully, Mikox does have Immortals. Thankfully, Immortals have arrived. And again, with good enough control, these Thors should never go down. Oh no! Miscontrol out of Hydra 1. So let's throw one of those Thors away. Singing up more Immortals. Building up more back. So we just get into a macro game from here. I mean, these swords haven't dealt critical damage. They've dealt damage to the production, to the tech. But the economy has been decent. Migos could have even taken a third base. So the game may just continue. As Hype 1 is slowly expanding, building up his bio army. We're still making more Thors. We're building up to the quad Thor drop. We're almost there. Almost there. Unfortunately, because of the high immortal count Thors, they can no longer fight the main army. Not anymore. We're up to 3 immortals. Hive 1 is making that 4th Thor. Jesus. So again, we're slowly expanding, so they're building up. As we mentioned before, Mikox's third base is late. You could have taken a third base much sooner. So late third base out of our Protoss. Ay, ay, ay. Third expansion. The game is a little closer than it should have, that it feels like it should be, but just because of the late expansions, the shaky economy. If Mikox had a faster third, I would actually favor him. But with these Thors, Hyper 1, he could actually force a cancel. He's heading over. Does rotate, the Immortals are keeping up. Ooh, a bit of miscontrol there, 1 Thor does go down. As you mentioned, with this Hive and Immortal counts, the Thors, they cannot fight head on. It can't happen. Thankfully, still no Blink. And no Blink Stalkers. Thors, they bypass the main army, they head into the main base. There's a recall. Recalls the Immortals. Immortals, they can hold their own. Shield Barrier coming into play. Production does fall. Dropping back into the main. And yeah, we might just smack her from here. Getting into a third CC. Oh, as Hype 1 lost a lot of workers in the main. Yeah, third CC's on the way. Double eBay. At this point, the hyper aggression has kind of ended for Hyper 1. As long as Mecox can be in position, these floors shouldn't get much done, and now we can start to saturate and slow things down. Oh god. Are we gonna... no. We're gonna get into a longer game. It's happening again. It's happening again. Hype 1 going for Ninja Base. Does he need to? No, he doesn't need to. He could just expand. It would be better if he just expanded, because then he can saturate faster as well. Zelt's back into the main base. Hype 1 out of position. Mecox bouncing back. Let's go. Hyper 1, he's stuck with a really weird army. Now the one thing that's going to be helping Hyper 1 here, as the army just got scouted, is lack of splash damage. Whether it's Colossus, whether it's Storm, we're missing that here, unfortunately. Mecox is getting up to a 3-base economy, but we do need to take up, and there it is. Storm is on the way. Storm is on the way. We're quite reliant on Storm, as this is a very marine heavy composition, very bio heavy. Storm is the one thing that Mecox is missing. Hyper 1, he's been missing some macro cycles, so he's going into, he's double expanding, getting a third, getting a fourth CC. The production is just too low to actually spend the money that we need to. So the 3 maxes. That's why Hyper 1 is banking. Hype 1 is moving out. He does move out. I believe the transfer was just scouted by the Zealots. Mecox, he might be aware of the Ninja Base. Might be somewhat aware. Oh, as he's completely out of position. Mecox, his main army's in the main. His army's in the main base, so the third base is completely exposed. And with that, this base will go down. And Hyper 1 does pull Mecox apart. Cleans up the drop at least, but that's going to be the death of the third. Should be. Should be the death of the third base. Send it, Pappy, send it. Oh, no. Hyper 1 a little bit distracted, but he should get there in the end. Yeah. Okay, send the Nexus. Oh jeez, the storms are brutal. Oh my god. Stands in the storms. But he still takes the fight. And breaks through the main army. Third base is non-existent. Again, it's been a very chaotic game. Very chaotic. And as we mentioned before, Hype 1 just doesn't have the production to afford spending his money. Like, he still has only 3 maxes. He's also not making anything. That's why Hype 1 is banking so much. There we go. We have 5 Raxes on the way. They're also proxied. Of course they are. As hopefully we're not going to move command in. There we go. Into the mineral lines. And it feels like Hype 1 is almost hurting himself here. Like, we gotta spend our money, man. We gotta spend it. We can do it. And Mikox is down to 14 workers. He's down to less than a 1 base economy. Again, he was just out of position earlier. He lost his mineral line at the 3rd base. He lost a bunch of workers in the main and the natural. From here, the Hyper One should just be able to outscale and snowball out of control. Like there's just not much that Mikox can do. There are some ways to recover in this game state, like with Dark Templar, right? If you go into DTs for DT counterattacks, Zealot run by, Zealot drops. We did see some Zealot drops earlier with this War Prism, which actually was quite successful. Killed a lot of workers. We got to keep doing that, right? We just keep. Oh, it's brutal recall. As we got to keep going for that drop play for those counterattacks. Distract Hyper One, keep him busy, recover economically, and have some room to actually make probes. But currently that isn't really happening. Currently, unfortunately, Mikox is stuck at home. Right? He's stuck at home, stuck defending. He doesn't have an economy to warp in across the map. He has no minerals. Oh god. Hyper One is going for the High Templar. Gets one. That's two. Oh, and here we go. Here we go. The main. I was just waiting for the main army to be activated. We have a marine run by, and we do get another mineral line. Mineral line goes out, but the main army does finally push forward. Now, if some storms do land, then potentially Mikox can actually deter this. But another base falls. And Hyper One, he can just send it. Just split, Pappy. Just split. Oh god. Storm comes in. He sends in the storms. Yeah, almost the entire army runs through. Very deep in the red. One more storm is all it takes. But there's no more storms. Yeah, there's no more storms here. With that, he can stim and he can win. Takes down the Immortals. And after a very awkward start with Proxy Thor of all things, GG. GG, well played. Hyper One does take the game. GG, GG. Fun fact, I want to say that the Thors didn't actually do much. Again, they destroyed production buildings, but over time, they really were just outscaled. It was more so just the counterattacks. The counterattacks of the... Yeah, just catching the opponent out of position. We saw a mineral line going down. Mikox, unfortunately, felt like he got into his own head a little bit as well. Had a very late 3rd base and had very limited map vision and map awareness. So the drop play was brutal. It was also unfortunate that he went into charge instead of blink. That also hurts with that. Blink stalkers are so much more mobile to keep up with drop play, to keep up with the movement of the army, and that wasn't really applicable there. GG. GG, well played. Hyper One does take it. And up next, we have another replay here, redeemed by Hyper One, but not a Hyper One game. This is a Go-Go Joey game. I don't know who his opponent is. I don't know if this was, maybe this was during like the Hyper One Power Rankings tournaments, or maybe during another event, or maybe it was a ladder game. I'm not too certain. But really cool to see Go-Go Joey still competing, of course. We always take note of that, especially during the podcast. Go-Go Joey, he is a very inactive player. He's got a full-time job nowadays. Doesn't get to compete too often, so we cherish him whenever he can. Este Joey. As in the top right-hand corner, we have our red Terran player. It's our ladder hero. Don't know who it is. Oh, it's Homono. Oh, there you go. We have Homono. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the blue Zurich player. We represent Team Hyper One from land of Hong Kong. It is Go-Go Joey. Let's go. Let's go. Oh god, Homono in his EVT. Is he gonna play mech? Oh no. Homono, he's very fond of mech against Zerg when it comes to EVTs. Otherwise, we could see him slow the game down and cut the map in half as well. Homeowner can be very cheesy against Protoss. He's known for cheese against Protoss, a little bit less so against the other races, but we'll keep an eye on him. For now, hatch first. Hatch first out of Go Joey. This is from the power. Yeah, I assume so. Did assume. As we have a double gas opener out of our Terran player. Interesting. We'll see if Gogojo is familiar with Honmono. Again, Gogojo is just a very inactive player nowadays. Honmono does have somewhat of a reputation. Somewhat. Again, double gas, faster factory, delayed CC. This can turn into a one base all in, just as a heads up, as he's pulling 3 and 3 in gas. It looks like a one base all in out of Honmono. Let's go. Let us go. It's going to be on Gogojoy to scout and to react to this and to hopefully shut it down. But again, we'll see if we can realize what's going on. From here, we can go factory into starports. We could go into reactor to Hellion. We'll see how this all comes together. There it is. There's that 1-1-1. Starport is on the way. The Overlords are moving in. We'll eventually confirm. As they're going Widowmine first into Tech Lab. Into, I would imagine, Thor production? Sorry, Thor. What? Tank production? To go into a biotank setup. No, never mind. We're going for a fusion core. Okay. We're going one base BC. Let's go. Let's go. There's the add-on swap. Overlord Scouts will confirm the fusion core. This was a really unfortunate location. Again, there was nothing. There was no need for it to be here with the production. And Homeowner now expands. CC's on the way. Very late CC. He's heavily reliant on this BC to get damage done. Gogojo, he saw everything he needed to. From here, he can just drone, make queens, get some spores. The PC's in production. Homeowner being active. So far, the Queens are trying to keep up. Going for roaches behind this. I mean, the likelihood of this being mech is quite high. BC into mech. So roaches is a good call. Homeowner going for double expanding. Going for the natural, going for the third CC. Again, this is very Honmono. We mentioned before that Homeowner, we often see a lot of later games out of our Terran player in this matchup. I'm thinking of like Homeowner versus Miyamaika, or was it Gogo Joey on Ancient Cistern? As the BC is teleporting in, going for the main. How many queens? Only 3? Oh, only 3. Gogo Joey, he was skipping queen production despite scatting the fusion core. That's on Joey. That's on Joey here. Very low queen counts. BC moves in. Queens, they're going to be going down one after the other. Now with roach reinforcements, Joey should be able to hold on, but oh god, the mine shot goes off. Diving on the final queen. Spore should go down. Takes down the Spore. Free damage with the BC. Yeah, Joey, he did skip a queen production despite seeing the tech of choice. No. And with that, we have a second BC on the way. First one deals a lot of damage already. Also, what that was 5 overlords, that was 4 queens. Now hits the third. Oh. As Joey does defend his third base. Okay. Does defend, does hold on. Lings a counterattack. Yeah, big moment for Joey. As there's actually nothing at home to defend. There's no Hellion, there's no Marine. There's it's just pure BC. Throwing down 2 more factories. Joey, does he scout this? He does. Yeah, he does see extra factories on the way. So he's aware it's going to be mech. He's fully aware. And Homeowner, he's so committed here. I mean, thankfully he has a third CC, so he's mulling quite hard. He's making 3 workers at a time. His economy is actually okay, all things considered. He has no Yamato. So this second move out shouldn't get anywhere near as much damage. Now we have a decent queen count, corruptors as well. It's a roach. Here it takes on a roach, doesn't really find much more damage than that. And we're getting into battle mech. Oh no. And because it's whole mono, we should be slowing things down. I mentioned it at the start of the game, but whole mono, he's known for like just turtling up quite hard in ZVT and getting like a 3rd, 4th base, 5th base. If you've only seen him against Protoss, it's like a very, very stark contrast. Very stark. As you can see here, 4th CC is on the way. His approach to Zerg is very different. As Homo, he almost never gets a 3rd base against Protoss. Almost never. See if Joey can keep up. Behind this, his economy is looking solid. Joey, he hasn't really lost many drones. He's lost 1 drone so far, so his economy is solid. From here, getting his 4th. Saturating, droning, building up into what should be a Ling Roach Ravager. Ling Roach Ravager Corruptor. The pressure's on Goga Joey, though, to deny these bases. Remember, Homeowner, he's been so greedy, getting his 3rd CC, getting his 4th CC as well. If he gets away with it, he can max out. So there's a lot of pressure on Joey. Does find the 3rd. And he should at least force a lift. As things, they run into the Mass Cyclone. Oh, CC gets very low. That shouldn't have happened. Homono did not lift. Yeah, didn't lift. Corruptors, they get a kill. Ay. They get a kill of the CC. But a Homono, he had a 4th. And it's fully saturated. Already a planetary. Yeah, the 4th base is now the new 3rd. BC's a counterattack. They're going for the main. Corruptors are out of position. They're racing back home. And Joey's being pulled apart. As the main base will fall. And the BCs, they will teleport away. Oh, we'll lose 1. 1 BC goes down. Better trades for Homono. again, pulling away. Joey, actually, I don't think he's actually scouted the third. Yeah, he's not aware. He's not aware of the base. He doesn't know what the economy's looking like. Joey, can he get on top of the VCs? Remember, they can't teleport. Cannot teleport away. Doesn't quite get it. Will force a cancel. There's that cancellation, and now he knows. Now he's aware of the planetary. Going for the caustic spray. And he shouldn't kill the base, but he can go for the battlecruiser. Never mind. Mine does teleport. Barely pulls out. And Joey, he's in a pretty good position here. Things are looking a little bit dire for him, but hey, he killed the base, right? He killed the third, he then forced a cancel. With that, the economy from Homono is not getting out of control, not like it usually does. And so far, Joey's staying on top of Homono. He's on it. Yeah, it's going to be on Homono once again. So we mentioned before, it's a turtle up. It's something he's quite fond of, so we have more CCs, more turrets, more sensor towers. We're hoping to turtle up. We'll see if Joe can break him. He's maxed. I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping he can. So far, every game tonight that we covered has kind of been a little bit slower and has kind of been a little bit more elongated. I don't know. That card is getting caught. Nice catch here from Mono. Shuts down almost every single G. Every corruptor gets caught out. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal pickup. And the mass cyclone is here, Pappy. It has arrived. Here, Joey catching out some of the cyclones, not bad. Get some decent fungals. Decent. Oh, God. Despite that, does not pull away. And he gets punished. And the punish was brutal. Looks like we're thinking about Brood Lords. But Homono, he saves the base. Saves the expansion, getting up to how many? Getting up to 14 cyclones. 4 cyclones at a time. It's a lot of cyclones. And we've gotten there at this point, especially after losing all those corruptors earlier. Like Homono, he's gotten up to 4 bases. Homono, he can now max out. Corruptors, they find an okay angle. but the Cyclones will respond. As the corruption count was it was reset again. The corruption count was reset. BCs, they can go in, they can just get free reign here on the bases. No queens, no spores. We can go for the mineral line. Yeah, homeowner's going in. And brutal damage. As workers are going down. And homeowner just has to play this carefully here. Just poke in, pull away. Just maxing out on Cyclones. A lot of Gojoi's army is reliant on fungals. If he can lure the army in and get a surround, then he can shut down these Cyclones. But that's only it. If he can't surround. Otherwise, homeowner should always be able to outtrade. So infestors, yeah, they're getting caught. 1, 2, 3 infestors going down. No, Joey. So I'll lose all the infestors. Not like this. Not like this. And Joey's just being pulled apart here. He's just being torn apart. He's out of position. Another base is going to go down. At the same time, Hormona moves in towards the left-hand side as well. So bases to be falling. Hormona, he's got the larger bank, which is one of the more terrifying things. That's just how efficient Hormona has been. Teleports away. And takes down another expansion. That's 2 bases going down. 2 bases, papi. Ay, ay, ay. So when he claims another fresh base, takes another expansion. Rush run by, won't get too much here as there are 2 planetaries in position. And from here, Homonoi does pull out, does pull away. Fungal does connect, but oh god, I'm not so sure it's worth it. Decent Fungals. Cashing out a good chunk of Cyclones. But still infestors going down. And Homon, oh no, he's slowing down even further. So he stopped Cyclone production. At this point, he's done with Cyclones. Honestly, I feel like he could have committed a little bit harder, but instead switching to Tank Ghost. So switching to Tank Ghost instead. So he's slowing things down. Ghosts are going to be the answer to the Broodlords. How many ghosts does he have? So far 2, soon to be 5. So he needs a higher ghost count. He's working towards like the ideal late game composition for Terran. Like the death will of an army of like mass ghost tank liberator. He's working towards that perfect army. Joey's still re-droning. It's time to resaturate. 18 drones on the way. Zings just trying to engage. Ghost, they shut him down. Can we get on top of the ghost? Ah, not quite. Not quite, man. Yeah. Things to get shut down. Ghost, they do get away. That's going to be another base falling, another mineral line as well. Broodlords are revealed. From here, Joey's response is Thor production. Going to Thor's. Could throw down some starports. Oh no! Corruptor's getting caught out. Yeah, brutal losses here for Joey. The army's just left idle. Free snipes. Oh. Nice catch. Tanks are on siege. Okay. Does take down, what, 5 tanks on siege. Balins they will chase. They don't get on top of the ghosts. That was a big blunder from Homono. Hey, the first fight going Joey's way in a while. It's been quite some time, but hey, gets 4 tanks. Getting something done. Oh, as ghosts are moving in. Getting a little bit caught out. Ghosts getting caught. Balins, they do crash into the middle line. Base goes down. Snipes are decent, but the ghosts, yeah, they have to get the hell out of here. Better catch from Joey. So he wins the fight on the left. He gets an expansion on the right. Homeowner, he got some miscontrol. And now there's no support. Now it's only Thor. Sorry, only Ghost, I meant to say. It's only Ghost. Again, he needs that tank support. He needs cyclones, anything really, alongside the Ghosts. We're getting messy. We're getting messy. Once again, the big difference though is that Homeowner still has mining. He still has a bank. He still can replenish his army. Joey, I can't say that as confidently. You can see here he's out of mining on the left. He just lost the base on further left, center left. He's got a couple of patches here. He's got a couple of patches here. He's down to what looks to be 2 bases, like a 2-base economy, if not less than that. So I'm like 1 1/4 base. Yo, we got a token swarm host. Let's go. Now, despite the lack of economy for Joey, because he's actually been able to get into somewhat of a Broodlord Infestor army, if we can land some fungals, if we can get behind the army, if we can fungal up these ghosts and take one big fight, then Joey can still actually win this. But he's heavily reliant on his fungals and also on Homeowner miscontrolling. Which can happen. As Joe's trying to fight head on. Joey moving in. Jesus, how many ghosts are there? 25 ghosts. Jesus. And can we fungal? Best as they don't quite land them. EMP goes up. Yo, where's the ghost? Copy pasta. Ling Bane does crash in. Ling Bane getting caught out on the Hellbats. We do land a fungal though. Yeah, one fungal does land, and we're getting on top of the ghosts. Ghosts are going down. We go from 25 to 7. No planetary. Oh, sorry. I just assumed that we had a safety point here, but no. Yeah, Homeowner, he got caught out. Got caught out in the open. Better fight for Gogo Joey. He's gonna try to keep pushing. Gets a tank. Oh, barely not. Tank is saved. That's what too soon. Tank goes down. Ghost as well. And Gogo Joey's going for the kill, going for the throats. Gets us around. Planetary will fall. Repairs are not good enough. And Joey has to keep going into the bases. Oh. He has to keep pushing. Now he's forced back. Remember, Homeowner has a bank. He has almost a 2k mineral bank and 700 gas. Homeowner can afford these trades. Homeowner does have to spend his money though, as he's having a hard time doing so. As it looks like we're going back into Battle Mech away from Mass Ghost, which again makes sense just because there's not really many high-tech units. Like there's no Ultras, there's only 2 Brood Lords. If you're up against like Ling Bane, Roach Ravager, then Ghosts are not what you want. So back into Battle Mech. Oh god. It has no detection. The ghosts, they just go ham. They get an infestor. Okay, if he refuses to make more Hellions, is there a world? Can we get on top of these Cyclones? Can we get there? Oh god, the Mind Shot's insane. Yeah, Wood Mines pop off. The Ghost count was reset. We're building up more Broodlords. If Homeowner can't get onto the Broodlords, then Joey, he can hold on. Oh no! We'll lose 1. Down to 6. 6 Broodlords left. The Crown Army is crumbling. That's going to get grabbed by Homeowner. Trying to move in. But he's running out of Hellbats. As we mentioned, he's running out of Hellbats. He has to back up. Homeowner, he's got 3,000 minerals, but he's not making Hellions. he has the factories for it. There we go. Jesus. Feels Hellion, man. Homeowner taking some of Joey's bases. Oh, at least attempting to. And nice run by. Homeowner does get an expansion, but this space doesn't really matter too much. There's no mining. So better trade for Gogo Joey. Get some mineral line. Oh, let's go. We have Thor production. Homeowner, his lack of gas is becoming a concern. He needs to saturate. Your gases are on the way. He also could be getting a free base here as well. Like, there's been no aggression, there's been no contention here in this area, so there's a free center of expansion for Homono. Helis, they peel off into the mineral lines. Drones are getting roasted. And massive damage. I'm hoping that we replace these Hellions, because they're gonna go down. And Cyclones, they need support. Can we make some more Hellions, Papi? Por favor. There we go. Yeah, 5 infestors. Like, there's still a world here where Gogojoy can catch out the army. Fungals land. You can still catch it. Copium. Do you have Neural? Neural was researched. Fungals coming in. Hey, here come the flanking Fungals. Nice catch here on the Cyclones. As I did mention, there's no support for the Cyclones either. Ooh. Better fight for Joey. Much better. And with this, he can punish the Cyclones and also punish the expansion. And base, let's go down. Much better fight for the Zerg. I was on Homono. Oh. Let's get 2 of those infestors though. Someone he is pushing in. Pushing into the mineral line. Drones, they will get away. But Joey Hull is another expansion. And there's no good answer here to Mass Thor. The best answer would be with Neural. But there's only 1 infestor. Only 1. So we're going for Hellion run-bys and bases that don't have any drones. So these Hellbats, they actually can't really do anything. So it's kind of a waste of supply here. Unless we snipe the Spire. Okay. Great Spire goes down. But that was still a lot of Hellbats being thrown away. That was what, like 16 Hellbats? For 1 Greater Spire? There we go. Homeowner, he finally does take that center base. He finally takes it. Now we just got to saturate. Someone is just mass scanning. I mean, he sees just how little economy there is. Go Joy. This is the mining. This is all he has. Ah, no. And technically, Homeowner just has to play it slow. I'm a little bit concerned by the more CCs he's getting. This is a big like mineral sink that he doesn't have to go for. It's going to mean his army's going to be a little bit smaller. He's getting caught out. Main army's moving in. Yeah, we'll eventually move out. As Homeowner, he's about to max. We're just waiting to max out. Then he can attempt to A move. Here we go. What do we have? 9 ghosts, 11 Thors. This army should be able to end things. Once again, there is a chance here where we can try to neural the Thors, we can fungal the ghosts. Depending on the angle, Joy can maybe make this work, but there's a lot working against him here. So much working against him. When the armies do clash, I mean, that'll be the final fight. When they clash. So Homeowner, he's been max for a while. Are we gonna push? Are we gonna... That's... Right now we're just posturing. David range is on the way. Oh. He's moving in. Slowly moving in. Never... I spoke too soon. Oh god. Never mind. You have the slow push of turrets, of sensor towers. Joy does get a base up, which is pretty important. It's getting a base up and running. In fact, that should not have happened. You know what that means? That means we can keep this going for like another 20 minutes. We got a fresh space here for Joey. We got a fresh space for Bod Mono, quote unquote fresh. Ah, no. see Pico with that. It's the Homeowner's EVT. We expect it to be an hour long. It's fine. It was expected. Oh no. And he gets the main. Takes down the main base. Joey is close to maxing out thanks to that base. Oh, was it like a supply blocks? As he's going to try to commit, does land a couple of Neurals. 1, 2, 3, 4 Thors, 5 even. Ugh. And with that caddy breakthrough, the Thors, they're trying to pop up, and they will. Okay. Yeah, the Neural does pan out. And with that Joey, he can claim this fight. Takes out every single Thor, takes out all the ghosts. The Neurals, papi, the Neurals. Now, with limited gas income, the Homeowner, he can try to remax here. He's got Battle Mech on the way. And now we're just going to back off and going to build up again. Let's go. What's the most important part about that fight, though, is that we have retained all the Infestors. The Infestors have been retained, so we can go for more Neurals and more Fungals for the next fight. So a big win here for Joey. He saves the Infestors. Now we have more Ghosts on the way from Homeowner. Fast is so insane. I thank God Homeowner doesn't know how to EMP. Like, thank you. But I mean, he's working on it. Now he's a little bit. Now he's more aware. That's why we're going back into Mass Ghost. He's learned to respect the Infestor. One is moving in. Again, it's going to be heavily reliant on those EMPs. Infestors, they go to split. Oh no! EMP doesn't quite connect. Gets to Infestors. And Infestors are going down. Homeowner, he can push. He just bullies his way through. Just bullies his way through here. Massive snipes on the Infestors. That's way down to 1. And soon to be down to 0. GG gets called. Homeowner, he breaks through the main army. And Homeowner will take the game. GG. Oh, good. GG, well played. I feel like Homeowner was winning that game for a good almost half hour. Homeowner took a pretty massive lead early on when it came to the BCs, when it came to the trades of the Battle Mech, when it came to just the economy as well. Joey, he was trading water, which is why I was really impressed by that second last fight. They was able to win. It was very impressive despite how dire things had been looking for half an hour. But alas, it still wasn't quite enough. In the end, Joy, with the better economy, was able to rebuild, keep going, keep pushing. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Yeah. And with that, we have 3 series left. We have 3 maps left. We're going to be going on a short break. Especially after that last game. Going to be going on a break. When we come back, we'll have a best of 1 between Lawless and Rake. It's going to be a TVP, and then we have a couple of SC Evo games as well. So we're going to be going on a short break, and we'll be back soon with a PvT. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hi. It's been a pretty intense broadcast already. We had a lot of longer games. That have kind of slowed down quite a bit. it's been a little bit taxing, a little bit draining, a little bit stamina draining for sure. But we do have our next set of matches here. Up next is going to be a TVP between Lewis and Rake. We're going to be loading into El Dorado for our next game. Here we go. Again, this might be like another power ranking game. I'm not entirely sure, not entirely aware, but we're about to find out. As this was, of course, in the previous map pool with El Dorado, so it looks like a bit of an older game, a bit of an older replay. There we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the teal Terran player. It is Lewis. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the orange Protoss player. It is Rake. Here we go. Also, big shout out to Pecoeta. Pecoeta. Good to see you, and thank you so much for subscribing for 9 months. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Once again, we are going to be settling in, and we'll see how our players do approach this. So it's been a while since we've casted a game on El Dorado. On El Dorado, we have often seen some longer games as well. It's one of those maps where you can cut the map in half vertically, and I'm hoping that's not what we're getting here. But we'll see. All the games so far has kind of led in that kind of direction. So far, economic opener at Lowless, opening up racks expand. Likewise, Rake's waiting for his own gate expand as well. We're settling in. A little El Dorito, pa. You see. I have regrets not having breakfast before this. No. I'll do my best to keep it all together. As of now, we do have our economic opener. As I mentioned, again, single gas out of Lilith. From my understanding, both players are around 5k, I think. I want to say around 5k-ish. Maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less. As Rake is going for a safety shield battery on the high ground. Bit of a misread here. I mean, there's nothing coming his way. Remember, it was an economic opener. Checking Rake's vision, he did not confirm. So he didn't confirm what was going on. So we have some very safe play opening up Stargate. Okay. Yeah, my attention. Stargate open out of Rake. This is a little bit more out of the norm, a little bit out of meta. With this, we can go into Oracles and the Phoenixes, or we could even do something crazy and pull a Rebellion and go for a Tempest Rush. Which is a more unique build. If we were casting Rebellion, it'd be on the table. So we are going for Reactored Hellion, getting to our 1/1/1. And speaking of Tempest Rush, let's go. Beacon has been thrown down. And now the shield battery is making a little bit more sense as Rake is rushing into set. I mean, I imagine it's going to be Tempest. Technically, it could be a carrier rush. Again, this looks like a variation of build that Rebellion goes for. I say variation because we still are not making any kind of Void Ray or Oracle or Phoenix to get vision across the map. So this does feel like a less refined version, as Rake is working with very incomplete information and is not really applying much pressure. As Lilith will soon move out with his drop. Likewise, only one Stargate. Just the one. Interesting. Hellions are building up. We'll see if Lilith can punish. Going for a mothership rush. Now it makes sense why there's only one Stargate. I mean, going for there is a build. It's like a 2-base all-in where you go into 2 bases, you go for the mothership rush, and you have a ground army to actually recall into the bases. But we're not really set up for that, right? Like we only have 1 gateway. We don't really have much to recall. So this is very messy. It's a very messy build. We'll see if it all comes together. Drop into the main base. We'll get a scout. Does confirm the fleet beacon. The list is aware. Jumps into the main. Hellions, they hit the natural, and probes are going down. A rake is getting torn apart here, losing almost everything. Yeah, 9+ probes going to be falling. Oof. And again, this build looks very rough around the edges. And so getting into +1 air attack. And Rake, he will lose the entire mineral line. That's going to be 15 probes going down. We're down to a 1-base economy. Behind this, I'm a little bit concerned about the investment into Banshee instead of Viking. Remember, Lilith, he's scouted. He knows what's coming his way. We need that anti-air. We need turrets, Vikings. Pure Marine is not going to cut it. Hellions do back off. Banshee moving in. And we'll see if Lilith gets away with this. I mean, Mass Stim Marine can excel, but Stim just now has begun. No 3rd CC yet. Lilith, he has the money for it. He could be expanding. I mean, I guess there's no rush since he did eviscerate the mineral line. So it's okay. So we have the 1 Banshee moving in. Had a bad day. I'm hoping that things get better. Things get better. It could be one of these probes here as the Hellions, they bust into the bases. 10 more probes going down. No. And thankfully, we're not making any more Banshees. Thankfully, we're making Vikings. Vikings are amassing. 1 Banshee just picking up more probes. Rake down to 12 probes. And there's a recall across the map. And again, do we punish with lack of anti-air? Nice slow zone. Yeah, slow zone on the Marines. Remember, Stim is not a factor. Vikings going to be going down. And the 1 mothership and the 2 carriers may just end the game. As every Marine does fall. And Rake, he's doing it. Again, we spoke earlier how it was quite greedy for Lilith to skip Viking production. And he did delay his Vikings for the Banshees. The Marines, they were not good enough. Base trade might be the best choice. Might be the best option. As Stim was denied. Floor gets surrounded. Ooh, does get 1 carrier. Can he get the other? Not quite. There's a cloak. Cloak is activated. Carrier survives. Yeah, and it looks like Rake may just win this game. The Hellions are racing back home. There's not much to do. Like they so a bit of an F2. That's what matters, is what shoots up. And what shoots up here? Nothing. I mean, there's about to be 2 Vikings, but we should be camp the production. At this point, the wing condition for Rake is just camp the production and get on top of the starport. There are 2 Vikings. Down to 0. Is this diamond? It's like 5k, maybe just over 5k. Another Thor. And with that, there's no production. There's no production, papi. We go for the mass lift. Again, the best chance at this point for Lilith is to go for the base trade, right? Is to go for the elimination. If you can kill every building. No, there's the recall. Mothership recalls. Rake, he has money. He has a bank. He can make probes. This is killing the CC. Does kill. We have one CC floating away. Oh. Catching up the army. And GG. GG gets called. Rake. Rake, he will take the game. He will take down Lilith with the rush into the carrier. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Again, that was on Lilith. Lilith, he did scout the main base. He was aware what was coming his way, and he chose to delay Vikings. He chose to delay anti-air. He was overconfident. Sure, the Banshees were doing some damage, that is true, but the economy didn't matter at that point. He was killing probes, but what mattered was the mothership, was the 2 carriers as well. So, alas, Lilith was overconfident in his setup, overconfident in his play. GG. GG. GG, well played. Este Rake. As Rake does take it, and from there we're getting into some mirror matchups. Okay, we do have another ZVZ. It's going to be on Magnatha. We have 3 Point versus Magic Turtle. This is going to be in StarCraft Evolution. This is one of the games from the SEL Championship from the round of 28. For the round of 28, let's go. I'm ready for like a 12 pool versus 12 pool. That's what I'm that's what I'm hoping for, Pappy. Let's go. At spawning in the top right corner of Magnatha, we have they're making drones. Okay, they are making workers. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Hyper 1. It is 3 Point. I'm gonna have to fix up their names. Un momento. We'll fix their names up. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the Brood War Zerg. It is Magic Turtle. We go. So ZVZ does continue, or is upon us. So far we have a 15-15 out of our Zerg. And a 3 Point. And looks to be a hatch gas pool out of Magic Turtle. And we'll see if Magic Turtle does embrace Mutaplay, bearing in mind that I believe this game would have taken place before the recent patch, obviously, before the nerf to Mutaplay in ZVZ. So that is going to be a viable option, especially on Magnatha. Because the map is so large, it is easier to try to get away with Mutaplay and go into 2-base Spire Tech. Meanwhile, we do have 3 Point going for a gasless opener. Interesting. Quite greedy here from 3 Point. Going gasless, going to be opening up 2-base into most likely 2-base Roach. Technically, could try to go 2-base Spire, but we should not be seeing that here in a ZVZ. Not at a 3 Point. So 3 Point does cut corners. Magic Turtle setting up. Setting up on 2 bases. And our eyes are mainly going to be on Magic Turtle here to see if he does go lair first. Oh. Never mind. What do you have for us? Rushing into Hydras. Okay, so we have a Hydra rush out of our blue Zerg. Going to be delaying his link speed in favor, or skipping link speed in favor of Hydras. Gas just now being taken from 3 Point. Again, 3 Point should be staying on 2 bases and going into and walling up with roaches. He should be walling. Overlord coming in for a free scout, and 3 Point will get eyes on the Hydra Den. Remember, there's no anti-air, right? There's no anti-air from our blue Zerg. There are no queens. So the Overlord should see everything. Hydra shut down. I believe I mean, now he's fully aware of the Hydras. 3-point is fully aware, setting up spine crawlers. No Roach Horn yet. 3-point is still building up. And based on the setup that we're seeing here, if we're skipping the Roach Horn, is 3-point going into Muta play? Okay. I'm a little bit concerned that he might be killed before he can actually get into Mutas, but we'll see. As Hydra speed is now done. Building up Hydras. Waiting for the layer to finish. 3-point taking his gases. We're expecting a Spire. Expecting Muta play. Which again is a bold move. Yeah, so right now more spine crawlers. This is to just get away with this greed, with the tech greed. As we have all of 5 spine crawlers here from 3-point. Seeing the 2-base setup here, this does scream Muta. Oh. That's not a Spire. Okay. I was going to say it screens Muta. Technically, this could be 2-base Swarm Host or 2-base Lurker. So Hydra is on the way, and looks like we are going to be rushing into 2-base Lurker instead, not Muta play. Now the onus is on Magic Turtle to scout to figure out what's going on. He knows it's 2-base Lair at least. He sees research in the Eva Chamber. That is a bit of a tell that something is wrong. Typically, you would preserve your gas to make Mutas. So the Eva Chamber researching here is indicative that it might not be Muta. As here comes the 2-base Lurker, more spine crawlers being thrown down. If Magic Turtle was aware of what was happening, he would just drone heavily, saturate his 3rd base, and tech up into his own Lurker tech. And just ensure that 3-point never expanded and never took a 3rd. He would then take into his own Lurkers, into his own Hive Tech, or into his own Spellcasters. I'd love to see 2v2 with SC Evo. 2v2s, they do exist, but I don't think they're casted in English. Basically, if you're familiar with Bratok and the CIS scene and the CIS community, they've been running a lot of 2v2s. For StarCraft Evolution, but I think they've been the only ones. We haven't seen like any of the foreign community go for that sort of thing. As Hydras, we don't have to push into this. Don't have to move in. Here we go. Lurkers are on the way. 3rd base being taken. We're gonna end up another. God damn it. 3-point is slowing things down. He's taking up into an infestation pit, into a hive. The goal for 3-point should be to turtle. It should just be to turtle up on 3 and then 4 bases to max out on Hydra, Lurker, Viper. Aye. We're setting up for another hour-long game. Unfortunately, Magic Turtle, he was not exactly aware as to what was happening. So again, the droning is lacking. So we're lacking drones. Here we have the Queen's Nest on the way. So we're building up towards those Queen's Doors and Spellcasters, which is going to be a requirement here for Magic Turtle. He does need it to go up against these Lurkers. Does need his own Queens. He's going for the Spire. I mean, technically, the ideal late game would be Guardians. He's a ways away from Guardian tech, but he can try to head in that direction. It's a little bit more awkward. Like, this is why Muta play can be so much better from Brood War Zerg, because they can go Muta play, then tech up into Guardians from there. It's a more like natural transition, as Guardians have to be morphed in from a Muta. So it is a bit of an awkward kind of setup here from Magic Turtle. It's very awkward. I've once said he had 3 replays for you to watch. Little did you know that would be the whole stream. True, true. Every game is gonna be nothing happening for an hour. Ah, no. Ready. Gibbs. I mean, I have faith here. We're getting into Mass Queen. We have 12 queens on the way. We're still lacking the upgrades, bearing in mind that a lot of the spells for the queens are locked behind upgrades. That is something we're still working on. Getting into Parasites, into Ensnare. We have a wall of spores on the way. Parasites in production. Oh, sorry, I keep saying Parasites. Spawn Broodling, the other one. There's that Greater Spire. So again, the ideal late game that you want to go for is Guardian. So we'll take you up into that. But again, we're stuck with all these Hydras, so ideally we have to get rid of this slowly over time. Throw away the Hydras. Get into Guardians. We've been speaking a lot of how Magic Turtle is building up. 3 point, his goal here is Hydra Lurker Viper. So you can see he has a wall of lurkers, he has a wall of spores, and now he soon has a wall of vipers. The goal here would be to Parasitic Bomb the queens, Parabomb the queens, even potentially abduct the spellcasters as well, and abduct them into these spore walls. So it all comes down to the spellcasters. Do the queens get in, or do they get shut down by the vipers? So this should just be a dance of queen versus viper. Which is very similar to just regular ZVZ, which is just Viper versus Viper in the late game. Oh, Magic, he's still making more Hydras. That's less than ideal. Hydras are going down. This is a good thing. We have to get rid of these Hydras. They're dead supply. But Magic, he just keeps rebuilding. Oh, yeah, more Hydras on the way. He's throwing away money. Again, we gotta get out of this. He's still making more Hydras. Oh boy. It looks like he's gonna try to brute force his way through. Power bombs on the queens. Nice spawn broodlings. As he does snipe 2 lurkers. 2 lurkers go down. Thankfully, Magic Turtle, he does keep most of his queens back. Doesn't want to waste them. And he's still remaxing with more Hydra. Oh, God. And that's not going to work. Not against 10 more lurkers. Oh, going for the Doom Drop, though. Okay. Does go for the Doom Drop. Trying to bypass the main army. 3 point out of position. So we are pushing in. Can go for the Dark Swarm. Oh, but he's not going for it. So every Hydra's going to go down. As we mentioned, these Hydras are basically dead supply. Oh my god, massive power bombs. The army does not split, and Magic Turtle will lose everything. He will lose absolutely everything. All the Hydras go down. All the queens go down as well. Did not split up, and now he's in a really rough position. He's still stuck with all these Hydras. He's now going into that Muta switch. We have 15 Mutas on the way. This should be for Guardians. But again, this has been a messy game here by Magic Turtle. Very messy. No! Yeah, his lurker shots are going up. Massive chunk of Mutas, sorry, of Hydra's going down. He's trying to sort of step in, but again, this is not an efficient trade. How many Hydras was that? 58 Hydras just went down. 58. Oh god. And again, Hydra's like we're spending a lot of gas here. More Hydras are amassing. Guardians are finally on the way. Oh, the lurker count is actually quite high. Sorry, quite low. Out of position. Yeah, 3 point left a bunch of lurkers in the main. So 3 point, he has to replenish that lurker count. Now, what I will say, even though these have been some worse fights for Magic Turtle, he is containing. And maybe that's more important here. The fact that 3 point cannot take a 4th base, he cannot expand. 3 point has a limited economy. Nice abductions. He gets 1, 2, almost 3 guardians. Hydras go down. Hydras cannot engage. Neither can the mutas. Nice abduction. But in the end, 3 point, he cannot expand. So 3 point, he has been trading more efficiently. True, he's been trading much more efficiently, but no economy, right? No economy. Over time, he will run out of resources. Dropping into the main. Lurkers are ready. But they are spread out. Oh god, the Hydras, they just get annihilated here towards the ramp. But again, he's brute forcing his way through. Come the abductions. Abducts most of those guardians. Gets some of the overlords as well. Once again, 3 point has a much more efficient fight. Much more efficient. Oh. Move command with the Zerglings. But Magic Turtle, he has 5k minerals in the bank. The gas is lacking, true. The gas income here is lackluster, as we have not saturated the gases top right, or yeah, just mainly top right. So lacking gas saturation. Plague on the lurkers. And so far, only 2 guardians. Oof, as none of the defilers, they get thrown away. That's 3 defilers going down. The Plague does miss. And 3 point is finally getting another base. He's getting another expansion. This is a big moment for 3 point. He's been stuck on 3 bases this entire time. Now he's getting a 4th. Once again, Magic, he's just stuck with Mass Hydra. Nice Blinding Clouds. Oh, does that a massive Plague? Jesus. An insane Plague goes off. Means they will transfuse. Bearing in mind that Plague doesn't kill anything, but he landed a Plague on all the Vipers. Ay, ay, ay. Vipers, well, they're all down to 1 HP. They're all down to 1. Speaking of, be so careful with those Vipers. Scourge, they're looking for them. Hunting for the Vipers. Don't quite get them. Now, will Magic Turtle ever stop making pure Hydra? Oh, God. He's making it so hard for himself. Oh, God. How many Hydras have gone down this game? 156. 156 Hydras. Again, you can see the efficiency here. How much more efficient 3 point has been. But hey, we have almost every other base on the map. Go bases here as well, true. Oh god, Hydras, they force their way up the ramp. Not gonna be pretty, not pretty at all. So many more Hydras falling. Does take down, what, 3-4 lurkers. Oof. But once again, a very inefficient fight for Magic Turtle. And finally, 19 mutas. Jesus. We're going into Mass Guardian. We're like 10 minutes late on that, but sure. At least we got there. We got there. Yo, meanwhile, a big shout to Babylings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. I was gonna raid you. I was going to raid you. But I hope you had a good time on your day off. I hope you had a good time. Much love to Babylings. D-Gen. How were the clowns on the ladder? Did you get any good games? As we're just going in with Mass Muta, we are throwing them away against the spores. Yeah, Lurkers, they shut down the Hydras. Mutas have to pull away. Where are the Guardians? Where are the Guardians, Papi? Just morph them in. I got excited with the Muta switch because I thought we were making Guardians. He's remaxing with Hydra. Oh god, no. He's at supply cap. He can't make any Guardians. What's happening right now? Oh god. Thought you just started. We've been live all morning. All morning. Oh, the clowns. Oh no. Hyper One, what have you done? What what have you done? As we can see, 3 Point taking another base, taking another expansion. We have some swarm hosts on the way. Sure, why not? And where are the Guardians? How many mutas do we have? 23. 23 mutas. Like, look, what's the anti-air here? What's the answer to Guardians? What, abductions and power bombs? Like, Guardians can trade so well. As we're just throwing away just wave after wave of Hydra. Look at this. We just throw it all away. God. And he's not stopping. He's still making mass Hydra. Why? Oh, God. Oh, no. Por favor, papi. How many have we lost? 247 Hydras. He's just aping Hydra. Oh, God. Zerg players, look away. You're crazy. I know. True. I'm crazy. When I say all morning, I mean from 9 a.m. Sorry, from 10 a.m. 10 a.m. But yeah, I hope you had a good stream. I hope it was better than this. There we go. The Guardians, they're here. Fun fact, I would want to see more Guardians, but we're maxed out. He's maxed out because of the remax on Hydras. God damn it. Otherwise, we should be seeing, ideally, it would be Guardian, Queen, Devour, Defiler. That would be the ideal. Nidus across the map. Let's go. Going for the Nidus. Does land a massive Plague. Jesus. Does land a Plague on the Vipers. Nidus will get up. 3 points. Will he pull this off? Going for the, going for the Swarm host. Let's go. Scourge diving in. Scourge go for the dive. They don't quite land. Don't quite connect. Plague is nice, no, but remember, Plague doesn't kill anything. Doesn't kill anything, so we have Mass Queen with Mass Transfuse. Keeping everything alive. Guardian's only 2 supplies, same as Hydra, so he doesn't need spare supply. So so what you're saying is that that Magic Turtle has no excuse. I'm trying to give him a way out, but you're saying like, no, I mean he could make more Guardians. He's just choosing not to. Okay, I see. There we go. Devourers are gonna be on the way. I'm giving him an out, Pappy. Never mind. Oh, he's listening to the stream. He's getting there. We could have gone there 10 minutes ago. How many Hydra kills? Still 247. Now, thankfully, Magistro, he has stopped making Hydras. Thankfully. He has learned his lesson. He's like, you know what? You know what? I don't think this is working. Hey, can't get that one past Magic Turtle. He knows. He knows, man. Once again, Massive Plague. 3-point has been stacking his Vipers quite a lot this game. He has been stacking. Parabomb on the Guardians. Do we split? We do. Guardians, they split away. Oh, some of them do at least. That's Guardians. Oh, God. We're stacking. No. Oh, my God. The Parabomb and the Fungal as well. The splits are not there. And thankfully, Magic Turtle, he doesn't react with a Mass Hydra. I was concerned he was just gonna have a knee-jerk reaction, just make Mass Hydra again. He's like, oh, this is awful. Let's just not do this again. Thank God. Bring back the Guardian. Again, we got to split. We got to split, Bat. We got to spread. Just like in regular ZVZ. It's actually quite, yeah, it's a very similar dynamic. Because in regular ZVZ, the goal is to have your Vipers in multiple groups, which is something that 3-point has been failing at. But the reason why you want them in multiple groups in regular ZVZ is because of power bombs. Like, you don't want to get caught out and be punished by too many power bombs because you have Viper versus Viper. Here it's been Viper versus Defiler, and it's a similar dynamic where Plague Eagles have been collapsing, have been punishing, and this is also why it's wise to have multiple control groups of Vipers. So you have like a group of 4, then another group of 4. Otherwise, Plagues punish you so hard. Just because, as you can see, the Vipers are stacking, right? So one Plague is all it takes. One Plague is all it takes. So it does snipe one of the Defilers, not bad. Snare does land. We get the nice up across the map. Are we still mining gas? Okay, we are. Jesus, we're oversaturated. Now, do we mine out the map? Do we mine out, Pappy? Ah. As the Plague does catch out some of the queens. Grazing one of the Vipers. How many Vipers do we have? 12. We're at least keeping some Vipers back, but only some. Oh! Going in for the Plague drop. Plague does land. Massive Plague. And now we're the Scourge. Where's the follow-up? Now would be the time for the Scourge to find a way in to like thread the needle and try to dive on this because the Vipers are so low. Once again, 3-point punish for stacking as every Viper's on 1 HP. 1 HP Vipers. A couple transfuse. Do land some parasites. Mutas, they go in. Oh, they bounce. He gets 1. He gets 2. Only 2 Vipers. Only 2 Vipers. The bounces, they bounce down to the queens. The glaives, I mean. Didn't bounce the way you wanted. As every base on the map has been taken. Every base on the map. Lands another Plague. This replay was chosen to give light emotional damage. It's been a very it's been a brutal cast. Ah no. Every game has been emotional damage. Ah. Scourge didn't quite make it in. They go through the Spore Forest. Again, like the ideal would be to like peel up a group of Scourge and then hug the edge of the map and come in from behind. Some crazy play like that. That's the Defilers they pick in. Sorry, Devourers, I should say. Could we not have had like a better name? Do we have to have Defilers and Devourers? Both a part of the Brood War Zerg army. Aye. Oh. As Scourge go for the dive. If Scourge attempt to, they don't quite make it through. And the Scourge don't make it. Going for another Parasite. Oh, lose the Queen. Bit of a misrally there. Oh. As there was no punish. Midas goes up. Gets a couple of workers. Does force a reaction. Light Space and Magical still making Hydras. He is. Thankfully, he's not going mass Hydra. Thankfully, but there was a big concern when we saw those Guardians going down. That I was like, oh no, is he gonna like get the impression that he made a mistake and just go back into Hydra? Oh no. Nice Plague. Plague goes up. Picks off 2 more lurkers. 3 Point has gotten another bait. He has a massive bank. At this point, 3 Point should take this. Like, he can lose his army and just remax. Like, he's been so efficient. Feeling Cavalier, moves out with a mass powerbomb. Catching out some Devourers. Oh, tells them Plague. Once again, it's all about the Vipers for 3 Point. It's all about the abductions, the powerbombs. All about the Vipers. Makes another 2. Kills 2 more Guardians. Magic Shuttle has gotten to the point where he has no gas. He is long distance mining top right. He has not saturated all of his gases here. He's undersaturated. Yeah, he's not mining efficiently. We need the gases. We need all the gases. Oh, going for the dive once again. Diving on the Vipers. He gets 1. 1, 2, 3. Oh god, that's not quite worth it. I want to say that was 3 Vipers going down, 6 in total. Why are we making more Hydras? No. He actually is going back into Hydra production. Oh god. He's lost that. He's lost. He's lost in the Spore Forest. Someone drag him out. It's like, this isn't working. Time to go back into Hydra. True. That'll work. God, how many Hydras has he made? It's on 21. Oh no! Oh, he's losing all of his Defilers. Yeah, massive reductions. Does land the plagues everywhere though. Can he do it? Yeah, can he brute force his way through? He's going for the kill. The queens roll on 1 HP. The 1 HP queens. The 1 HP everything. Go for it. Send it, Bappy, send it. The F2A move. The Guardians, they break through. He breaks through the defensive line. He's got to end the game here and now. Keep going. Now 3-point can remax, but Larva is going to be an issue. Yeah, you can see he's injecting. He's out of Larva. He's out of Larva, Pappy. No injections. Yeah, no, you can see it. We're just now sporadically going for all the injections. 3-point, he has no Larva. He cannot remax. 3-point, his macro's been slipping. No injections. Okay, now the Hydra Remax works. Keep going in. As there are no lurkers defending the main. The main base, the natural base, it's all exposed. Denies +3. And Magic Turtle, he will do it. He breaks down that front door. Takes down the lurkers. Ooh, is lacking detection. Uh-oh. Yeah, it is lacking detection everywhere, actually. Where are the overlords? Overlords not moving in. Oh. As Magic, he should be able to break through this. Hi. Eventually, did brute force his way through. It worked. It worked. Just rammed his face against the brick wall that was 3-point. And he did it, Pappy. He did it. Ah. Let's go. Oh, God. As there's a detection, lurkers, they defend. How many Hydra kills? Oh, here. 318. And we're back to the mass Hydra. Which at this point I think is okay. Like at this point the lurker count is low enough. It's okay. There's 3 lurkers, massive plague. Plague pops up. And with that, GG gets called. Magic Turtle does take the win, does take the game, does take down a 3-point. GG. Oh, God. GG, well played. Shout out to 3-point for being hyper efficient. We did mention how his army control was lacking. Likewise, whether it would have been regular ZVZ and SC2 or SC Evolution ZVZ, we saw that 3-point was being punished so much for never splitting up his Vipers, for always clumping them, always stacking them, and as a result, every time there was a plague that landed, it landed on every single Viper. So unfortunately some miscontrol there by 3-point, as he never did quite adapt to that. He never did quite adapt to the plague, or again to Parabombs and late game ZVZ. And with that, it was punished quite hard. Likewise, we saw that because of the mass plagues, we saw that eventually Magic Turtle, he was able to break through. Up until that moment, though, 3-point, he was trading well enough. He was trading efficiently enough. But in the end, there was a weak point in the defenses. It did break through. We were lacking lurkers in between the bases, and GG, well played. Hi. With that, Magic Turtle does take it, and with that, we're getting ready for the final game of the series of the broadcast. We're getting ready for a TVP between Rebellion and Milky Cow. Gonna be on Isles of Siren. Let's go. Let us go. Ah. Crazy, Pappy, crazy. Again, I still don't know if there's a difference between Neo Isles of Siren and regular Isles of Siren. I'm still not... I don't know if there's a difference. I haven't noticed if there is one. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Isles of Siren, we do have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Representing among SC2 people, it is Rebellion. 40-minute game incoming. It's very possible, Pappy. It's very possible. In the bottom right, we have the cow. Milky Cow. Fix up the in-game names. There we go. Rebellion vs Milky Cow TVP island map. Welcome one and all to Near Isles of Siren. For those who have never seen this map before, this is an island map. We have top right, top left, bottom left, and bottom right as well. We have 4 possible spawn locations, and we have 4 separate islands with a 5th island in the center. On each island, there are 4 bases. You have your main base, you have your natural, you have your 3rd, and you have a 4th base as well. So you have 4 bases available to you, and you can see here that what separates all these islands are these very thin rivers. Very, very thin. Because these rivers are so thin, you can blink. You can blink from one side to the other. You can warp in. If you have a pylon on one end, you can warp into the other side. Tanks can affect fights, as tank lines and tank siege lines can actually shoot from one side to the other as well. Brood lords, guardians, like there are different ways to make use of this just because of how thin that area is. Likewise, when it comes to island maps, Skytoss obviously is going to be a big factor, but I will say that SE2 Protoss has a lot of options because of the recall ability. Because of how recall works, you can build up a ground-based army. You can build up a ground-based army, rush into a mothership, and then bam, recall into your opponent. Or not just that, but also with a war prism, right? With a war prism, if you can get a prism across the map, you can warp in and reinforce. You can blink as well. Like there is a lot of builds. You don't have to go into Skytoss. You can go into Mass Blink Stalker. You can rush into mothership with a ground-based army. Rebellion, he has options. We'll see what he goes for. From the side of Terran, SE2 Terran has drop play available with Medivacs, but Brood War Terran is very different in that respect, as we are rushing into the Academy. Huh. Okay. Racks into Academy, interesting. This might just be for an early constatation to scan. It might just be for scan purposes to figure out where Rebellion is. Yeah. Let's go, as we are going to mech. Okay, we're going to mech. With the help of the early academy, again, it does lead into early comstat stations. Once we get the armory up and running, we can go into Goliath. But mech will be amassing. Meanwhile, Stargate open out of Rebellion. We're getting into our openers, getting into our builds. Yeah. There's the scan. Scan's bottom left. And now he knows his opponent is top right. As here comes the Overlord Scouts, or the Racks. Racks is floating in. They're floating on in. Goliath production has begun, as there is that armory. So rushing into Goliath, which will pop out just in time to defend against the Oracle, at least in the main. At least in the main base. As the scan gets highest on Skytoss. Void Ray production has begun. I say Skytoss, we haven't seen a second Stargate yet. So, and we're getting into Warp Gate, true. Warp Gate is on the way. We'll see where Rebellion takes us. Let's go. And this is not going to be Skytoss. We're going into double forge, double upgrades, going into a ground-based composition. So we mentioned before that there is a build where you can go into a ground-based army, then go for a mothership, and then recall to your opponent's base. It feels like that is the plan here for Rebellion. Feels like that should be the plan. Meanwhile, Mass Goliath, Milky Cow, with all these Goliaths, he's going to be ready here for Skytoss. But again, that's not really happening. That's not coming his way. So I'm a little bit concerned with Milky Cow. Investing into Valkyries. There's a scan. Big scan actually does confirm both forges, the gateway explosion, the robo as well. He knows. Now he's aware there's going to be a ground-based composition instead. And Milky, he has to prepare for that. We have to stop the Goliaths. Fleet beacons on the way. As we mentioned, this should just be for the mothership. And this should just be for the recall. Scan reveals more gateways. And tank production has begun. Oh, he has to rebuild his racks, as he cannot make more factories. So racks is being rebuilt. Technically, there is a world where maybe Milky Cow, if he's in position, he can deny the mothership and snipe it before the recall goes off. Maybe. Otherwise, I am worried for Milky Cow. As here comes that mothership. Now, the ground army isn't quite there yet for Rebellion, but he should soon be focusing on purely army production. And again, Milky, he's seen enough to know what's happening. Even if he hasn't played against this before, he should know. So tanks are on the way. Again, he does have siege mode. He's building up his tanks. Is it too late though? Like, has he invested too heavily into Goliath? Rebellion going for the center expansion. Double expanding even. Again, we need more Stalkers. We need more Zealots. Charge has not been researched. It does feel like the mothership is too early. Like, it feels like, especially I mean, I guess we're going to use it defensively. I guess the plan here is that now we have an extra recall. But Milky Cow, he's stuck on his side of the map. Like, he has no way to get out. Just now getting his first dropship. Another scan. Double Robo on the way. Rebellion refining his army, getting to that ideal anti-mech based composition. Ooh, there was a chrono boost. No recall. Yeah, big misstep there from Rebellion. Tanks do siege, and there's no recall available. Stalkers, you can try to respond. Now, a scary thing here, actually, Milky Cow is sending a lot of his supply out on the map. A lot of it is moving out to this island, which means Milky Cow, he has that much less to defend back at home. So here comes the mothership. Rebellion is going for the kill move. He's going for the kill move. This island doesn't matter. And again, that's a lot of supply not at home to defend. He scans, sees another base. Here comes the recall. And remember, Rebellion, he can always recall back home if he needs to. He can always recall back home. There it is. Busts into the main, going for the production. Milky Cow is racing back home. A bit of an early cloak. Yeah, a little bit premature there from Rebellion. A little bit premature. That is a lot of tanks. Where are the charge lots? Yeah, no charge lots. Recalls back home. A messy fight here by Rebellion. And that was not really quite worth it. Does get some SCVs. Does get 14 SCV kills. But again, there was no Warp Prism, so there was no way to reinforce. So no Warp Prism, no reinforcements, no charge. Without Zealots, there's no easy way to engage with the tanks. So messy execution out of Rebellion. And with that, Milky Cow is moving out. Does move out. Recalls on cooldown. This base will fall. Rebellion is racing over. He's trying to. Yeah, this base goes down. Rebellion going for a ninja base. Let's go. And now we're going for the backstab. Now we have the prism. I mean, the prism was always there. It just wasn't a part of the fight. It wasn't a part of the main army. Going for some run-bys. Doesn't find too much damage. Zelts are on A move, so they're just attacking the CC. Now getting into the mineral line. Get in, they do get a decent amount of worker kills. The mothership is setting in for another recall. Recalling towards the main army. Okay. That means he wouldn't have a recall into the opposing base, or into the opposing island. So that was a wasted recall, as again his army was just in the main, so he could have just rotated. So wasted recall does clean up the army, but it also means he cannot hop to another island. So he's stuck on his main line. He's stuck on his main island. Stalkers, they rotate. Technically, these blink stalkers can actually hit this mineral line. They can blink in, but not quite going for it. Nice Goliath drop. Goliath drop in. Ooh, diving on the tanks. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not the way to go for, as every stalker is going to go down. Does not respect the tank line, doesn't respect the Goliaths either. So better fight for Milky Cow. Rebellion is hurting. What's going on? Remember, recall's on cooldown. This mothership cannot recall. Oh, now it's going up. Now we get the recall. Does recall in time? Okay. Barely in time. That was close. Tanks are sieging up. SCVs are going down. Can we get on top of the tanks? It looks like we cannot. Tries to blink in. Stalkers, they get punished. And Milky, he will take this fight. He will clean up all the stalkers. Takes down the stalkers. Takes down the main army. Archon Zelts go down. Yeah, messy fight here from Rebellion. Does recall. Now Rebellion does get some SCVs. Does get some workers. Nice Zealot warp in. Takes down the CC. Ooh, but he doesn't deny them. Yeah, doesn't deny these CCs. We have the mass scans looking for the bases. Rebellion does have some mining going on. Still very back and forth. Very back and forth here, as Rebellion thankfully still has a fourth base up running, has that ninja base, the ninja expansion, and he has a little rebuilding to do. He's building up his immortals again. He's got the mothership on the way. Stalkers, some of them do get out. Does pull out, does make it back home, and he has how many immortals? 11. Jesus, 11 immortals here for Rebellion. That's going to be the ideal against a mech-based army. depending on the setup. Again, these recalls into expansions have been lackluster for Rebellion. But hey, it does find some tanks. Here we go. Someone needs to make a mod so the matchmakings work on this. If you're referring to the ladder, we've spoken about this before, but there is a ladder in the works for StarCraft Evolution. That is a thing. Snippers are going down. The ladder is something that's being actively worked on. Ladder that makes you play against same skill level. I mean, the ladder is gonna have MMR, so yes, that is obviously that's gonna come hand in hand. As also do warp in, they get on top of the tanks. Clutch warp in. Yeah, very clutch out of Rebellion. Cashing out all the tanks, and he's gonna keep going. Keep going in. Four SCVs going down. We get some decent damage. Rebellion trades well. Milky Cow, he does have a fresh mining base though. Takes the center expansion. And he kind of sees. Milky Cow, he scans, he sees cannons at the tell. That's a tell that there should be bases here. As Rebellion has been freely mining this entire time. Another mothership's on the way. Oh. Rebellion moving in. Does get a full dropship. But gets two. Two dropships go down. Do you see what I see? I see the mothership, and it should be queued into the main island. Okay, we're getting ready for that massive mortal recall. The mothership is good. Here we go. The mothership is rallied. So, because they, oh god, they get under the Valkyries. Oh no! Getting caught out by some of the spider mines. Mothership's moving in. Where's that recall? Where are we headed? Oh, is he going for the center base? Oh, okay. Going for the center expansion. There's a recall. Comes in from behind. And he will break this position. As we do land one storm. Yeah, a couple of storms do land, and mortals they make their way through. And they will clean up every single tank. Every tank goes down, 27 SCVs. The problem here, oh god, as we have some miscontrol. The army's left idle. The problem here is that we don't have a recall to go into the main island. So this base is denied, that is true. Milky Cow, he is safe. Until the next recall. Until the next mothership. The tanks, sorry, the immortals are on their own. Every immortal's gonna go down. Rebellion catching reinforcements. He's on the island. He's on the main island. Does try to reinforce as well. Catching out the production, not bad. It's a tank, it gets a Goliath. Picks up a dropship. Oh, and the Goliaths are trickling in. Yeah, they're running past, actually. The move command. They're running past. Yeah, messy defense out of Milky Cow, losing so much supply here. So a lot of supply being thrown away. Finally, this army's going to be cleaned up.
Base is under attack.
Oh, as Milky Cow is expanding on one of Rebellion's islands. Oh no. Incoming 4-hour game 5. I mean, maybe. I mean, the problem here is that I say the problem. It's been very low eco. It's been very low supply as well. Like, because of all the trades that have been happening, like, no one's been able to max out. It's been very chaotic. Very chaotic. As Milky Cow double expands. Archon's moving in. They should be able to tank. And they will. Yeah, the army's going to be cleaned up. This base will go down. Nice cleanup. Again, Milky Cow, it looks like he's just not fully aware. Or wasn't aware of the bases. Of the recall potential. Milky Cow does drop in. Taking up her space. Unfortunately, just hasn't been able to do anything about bottom left, center left. Hasn't touched these bases. Mothership's on the way, and once again, we're just waiting for the mothership to be able to recall onto an island. Nice storm drop. But again, Rebellion is so heavily reliant on his recalls to actually get onto the islands and traverse across the map. So there are these big lull periods as we're waiting for the mothership. But Milky, he's mining out. Main base is mined out. It's natural as well. His third base down to 2 patches. Eventually, Milky Cow, he will run out of money. He needs that center base. He needs that expansion. Mothership is out. Show us the recall. Where we headed? Now, Rebellion, he has a choice to make. Does he dive onto the main mining base of Milky Cow, or does he try to dive into the main army, straight into the main base, and go for the production? What's the plan? Looks like we're going for the production. There we go, mothership into the main. Milky Cow, he does race over to respond. There's that recall. And does Milky Cow have enough? Where are the immortals? Oh, no immortals here, going for charge lots. Diving on in. There's no prism either, so there's no reinforcements. Zealous trade very well, though. They take down every single tank. Yeah, tanks, they go down. Army dives in. And Rebellion, he has control of the main base. He has control of the production, and this is his way to end the game. Carriers, they fly over. Stalkers, they can blink over into the main island as well. So we have carriers from the top side, stalkers on the left, and the recall into the main. And Milky Cow is just being pulled apart. Another dropships! No! Gets one! It's one full drop, gets two. Yeah, two drops just go down. GG gets called, and Rebellion with a tri-pronged attack pulls Milky Cow apart, and Rebellion takes the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, Rebellion does take the game, does take down Milky Eye. Very intense back and forth, a lot of engagements. Again, in general here, SC2 races are just so much more mobile, and as you saw, there were multiple ways for Rebellion to try to be active on the map and try to go for aggression. We had Blink, of course, we had Warpins, we had the Sky Toss, we had the non-stop recalls. Recalls are crucial when it comes to mobility here for SC2 Protoss. Constantly recalling into bases or recalling away from bases, recalling to defend bases. There was just a lot going on there, and Rebellion was just all over Milky Cow. Unfortunately, Milky Cow, he had a bit of a misread early on, so he was stuck with Mass Goliath. He tried to switch into a ground-based composition, but again, Brood War Terran is just so much more immobile. They do have that disadvantage coming into these island maps. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Rebellion as it does take it, and with that, we are wrapping up. Let's go. I was about to ask if this is remotely balanced between the StarCraft 1 and versus SC2 races. SC2 has so many more tools. I would say it is balanced. I mean, if you were watching earlier, we just saw, I think, a good example of that is ZVZ. I would say that Brood War Zerg have a lot more tools in late game ZVZ, with Queens, with Defilers, with Guardians, with Devourers, with Plague back with all the Plagues. Like it's I think most would probably agree that it is in favor of Brood War Zerg there, but the races just work very differently. And obviously the balanced team is very active when it comes to trying their best to make sure that the game is as balanced as possible. And there are definitely certain advantages and disadvantages, but there are other ways to make up for that. On the one hand, I would say that yes, SC2 races are more mobile. On the other hand, in general, Brood War races are a little bit stronger when it comes to their spellcasters. Like the spellcasters for Brood War are crazy. When it comes to Lockdown, when it comes to Storm, the Brood War Storm is insane. When it comes to Plague, when it comes to just spells in general, units as well are also a little bit stronger just because of the lack of mobility, referring to Dragoons, referring to Brood War Mech, for example, as well. So there's a bit of a give and take. I think it's best to just think of them as different races entirely. And yes, they can be more immobile, but that's a part of the race itself. And it makes up for it in other ways. Does make up for it in other ways. There are definitely aspects currently of the meta that are a little bit imbalanced, which I'm sure they're aware of. I think one of the examples of that is PvP. Right now, PvP is in a really weird place where there's a lot of cheese and a lot of proxy, and I don't know if that's what is intended. So I do know that PvP has some issues. ZVZ also has some issues as well. When it comes to those two matchups, I think they're probably quite happy with TVP. I think TVP is probably in a good place. TVT as well. I think TVT is probably the best like balanced mirror matchup currently, Terran versus Terran. I think that's probably in a good place that they're quite fond of. But some of the other matchups, like they're definitely like tweaks that you can go for, and the game is patched on like a weekly basis, like almost every week or at least a couple of times a month. There are patches that are implemented to SC Evolution. So it is actively being worked on. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. We are going to be wrapping up here for the morning. As that was a lot. Oh god. So despite the fact that we only casted 7 best of ones, I think almost everyone went to the late game. Almost everyone. Intense, Pappy, intense. With that, GG, well played. Thank you so much for all the submitted replays as well, from The Walk, from Hyper One, from Ragnar as well. Do appreciate it. Again, for those that are curious, this was a viewer replay stream, so replays submitted by viewers. You can do so via the chat with a point redemption. 10,000 channel points will allow you to redeem a replay, and I will get around, once I accumulate enough of them, I will get around to having a replay stream or a replay cast. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Kasansky. Thank you so much, Kasansky, for the 5 gifts and subs to the community. Thank you so much to Dead Cell, to Alexandressa, to Boomer, to Dathus, and to My Mom Is Alive. Thank you so much for the gift and subs. We appreciate the support. As I am very fatigued after after that cast. There were so many hour-long games. No. Get me out of here, Bobby. Get me out of here. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to go get some breakfast. It is almost 2 p.m. It's almost 2 p.m. here. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Going to go get some food. Time for lunch, Bobby. Time for breakfast. Time for breakfast. I was actually quite tempted to ladder. I was quite tempted to stream and ladder, but I am so fatigued. I'm so drained after after all of that. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to get some rest. I might stream a little bit later on. That's a big maybe. As a reminder as well, when it comes to the rest of our schedule, we can catch up. We can catch up with the rest of our schedule here. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning cast. We do not have a cast this evening, which is why I'm a little bit free to stream. Tomorrow morning, likewise, we're going to be skipping Pegasus Cup. Pegasus Cup is Wednesday mornings. I won't be able to cast it this week, unfortunately. We might do like a catch up replay cast, maybe for Pegasus Cup. But the reason for that is that I do have some 2 pet bunnies. I have some pet bunnies, and we're going to the vets. We're going to the vet tomorrow, as we have to look after them. We have to look after them. So that is what's going to be happening tomorrow. So otherwise, I am preoccupied. I will be busy. And of course, later on tonight, I might decide to stream. Otherwise, I'm just going to be focusing on catching up with VODs and catching up with editing all the VODs for YouTube, as YouTube is the place to be for all that VOD content. I got a lot of catching up to do. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And stick around. Because we're going to be giving another Saka streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? What is happening? Let's see. I see Chris is live. I see Pacheco's live. Nathanius is live. I feel like Nathanius is usually asleep at this time. We have Cosmito also live as well. We'll find someone. Shelby is live. Shelby. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up. For the time being. I'm going to go get some food. Hi. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Maestros of the Game. That's going to be our next cast. Again, we're going to be skipping the evening broadcast tonight and the morning broadcast tomorrow. And you can see here at 7 p.m. KST Wednesday evening, we're going to be live with Maestros of the Game. That is going to be a replay cast of Group B, because we did miss one group of Maestros of the Game. So I do apologize for that. We did miss one of the groups. So we're going to be catching up on Wednesday. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. See you then, Pappy. See you then.